Hey, what's going on, everyone?
G'day,
Welcome
g'day.
to Hypersapien TV. And this is Return of the Plonker, or Plonkers, however you want to look at it. How are you there, Mark? This is Mark
I'm
from
good.
Mark Shed Talk.
I'm good, thanks, G. I'm doing well. And how about yourself? It's good to see you back.
Appreciate it. Yeah, better than some, worse than others, I'll say.
Yep, yep. It's totally understandable.
We'll go through the chat if I can get to it.
Pete, see you. G'day, Pete.
And here, where is he? Oh, there he is. He popped up before. He's late for an important date, but here we have
Hello.
Roger the Pirate.
Roger.
Hello. I was
Hello, mate.
backstage. You mustn't have missed me.
Oh, my bad. Surprised that I could
Don't
ever
worry.
miss you there, Roger. So I'll quickly go through the chat if I can bring it up. Just give me a second. Yeah, how are you there, Roger? You're all right.
What? Yeah, right.
You're all right. Not half
Yeah, all
left.
right.
Hello. What you doing?
Uh, it's only because Restream doesn't show
Yeah.
all of the chat from before, so I was just
Yeah.
making sure that I didn't miss anyone. So we had Stylesy in the chat. Welcome, Stylesy. We had Mark Shed Talk. Welcome, Mark Shed Talk. We had Roger the Pirate. Welcome, Roger the Pirate. We have
Uh,
Dave, or
hello.
as Roger
Havadu.
likes to call
Stalsy.
him, Savadu.
Stalsy.
Savadu.
Havadu.
We had Cody the Aussie, Alistair Fanbroni in the house. We also
G'day,
had
Cody.
Just Rant already. We have Joan Yoda Girl. Welcome, Joan.
Oh,
She did
Joe.
say that. She did say, "Okay, I'm off to sleep, enjoy, and have fun."
Thank you. Thank you.
But it
Yes,
was,
it is very, very early for our viewers in America, as Mrs. Austin can attest.
yeah, that's it. Surprised that she's not asleep. Oh. All right, so that's everyone that was in the chat before we went live,
Yep.
and now we can jump back to here. We have Dave saying hi, Plonkers. That one is screen worthy to put up there. And also, just before we get the show going, I want to give a shout out to all the Funkin' Hungry members. We have Vanessa. Well, this is the snack members: Vanessa, Becky's Fishing Adventure, Dogface, and Savadu, aka Dave. And coming in with the entree, we have Mr. Stylesy, Director Stylesy. So just give a shout out to all of you. Appreciate everyone. And Roger's already on the promos. Look at him go. And I
I
don't know
always
if
am. I always
He's
am
right onto
on
it.
the ball.
it's working or not. I will test it out, but we might even have a sneaky little bot with us tonight.
Oh,
Yeah.
See if it's.
Director Styles, he might want to be careful. He might put too few many emojis in and get in trouble.
I thought I set it up, but apparently I haven't. Oh, excuse me. It is there. Just took a little bit. I was a little bit
Cool.
impatient, but we have our friendly neighborhood nightbot in the house as well. So there you go. So if I set it up correctly, we'll get a few timers through the stream, so don't worry about that. just act normal and just smile and wave. Just don't freak out too much if this Nightbot wants to do what it does.
I might
Now,
might have to get a few tips off you, G, for setting up Nightbot properly.
and I did take off one thing I did do is make sure that you can spam emojis and spam capitals, because obviously Stylesy's found that out the hard way, but myself on Frost and Fist live stream as well. Sometimes I put WAR in capital letters and then I get a timeout and told off. Or sometimes when I've done emojis, I've been told, been put in a naughty corner and timed out. So yeah,
Yeah.
that shouldn't be happening because I've turned off all of those little spammy bits and pieces. Well, that may feck my day. Feck. There you go. I wonder, will Nightbot be on your guys' YouTubes though? Does it pop up on yours, or is it just because like I've obviously
I don't notice
put
it
in my
on StreamYard.
I've
I've
got
noticed
it.
on StreamYard.
Sorry, I've got it hooked to my channel, and one time there when the other night I was live, Stylesy made a comment with some emojis, and it jumped on him straight away. Yet a troll came in. I had my first sort of, I suppose you could almost call it a spam bot, or someone wrote some vulgar language, or not, depending on what you look at it, and it didn't do anything. So obviously I haven't set up some keywords and things like that.
Yeah, you can put in, like you said, you can put in keywords. I've turned off most stuff from the spam protection because, well, you can do blacklist words, phrases, so I guess like, racist words or whatever, excess caps, excess emojis, which is the two that I was mentioning before, and the excess emojis is obviously what Stylesy got caught up with. You can make it so obviously if people share their own links or whatever, you can Nightbot will tell them off, but excess symbols and repetitions. So I just ended up disabling them all because really we have mods in the chat as well.
Yeah.
And most people, either ourselves will see it or someone in the chat will see it. But then Nightbot's obviously good to just do some other stuff like in 20 minutes and half an hour, I should put a timer just to tell people to like, subscribe, and all that sort of stuff. So it's just another
Yeah, the
little.
sorts of things, yeah.
The Charinator was warned about caps.
Yeah,
Brad's
remember
asking if
that?
we're
The
talking
Terminator, yeah.
about woven fabric. Did we talk about woven fabrics yet? I reckon he missed that one, didn't he? That was the first 5 minutes. Sorry, you missed out on that one, Brad. But welcome. And Stylesy's testing out Nightbot. He's, just making sure
Yeah.
Nightbot disabled.
Old Stolzy.
There you go.
I need a third account to watch the Prawn Star. Mrs. Austin at this. Hi, Brad. Please subscribe to Hop. There's an Nightbot!
Oi, just rant. Oh, there you go. Nightbot's doing its job.
Way to go.
There you go, everyone. Nightbot's behaving. You have to tell it what to do. To be like, do what I want you to do, even though you have to give away moderators' rights to Nightbot, which is a little bit sus.
Yeah, right.
Like, is Nightbot going to change passwords on me and take over my account? I guess we'll find out. If I start doing live streams and it's banning emojis and you don't see my face, then Nightbot's taken over the show. We have Shed Dog as well.
Shed Dog.
Cruising
Come
around.
Here. Come here.
Funny.
Yeah, she's just, come back here so you're in the picture. Come here, there we go.
The
Look
real
at that.
star of the show's here.
Hey, everyone wants to see
That
you.
is an old one.
Look. Where's the mouse? What? Come on then. Come on. Oh, you want to play, do you? You want to play? Well, everyone's watching. Hey? Everyone's watching. Come on. Everyone's watching. You're leaving your hair all over the place. I just swept this place this afternoon. What are you going to do next? Come on. What? You going to go around? Come on. Follow. Come on.
Trying to stop you, grabbing you. Stop moving. He's got a real fight on his hands now. Shed Mark first.
You're pushing me around, are you? You're pushing me around.
She's going to push you outside and close the door and take over.
Oh, if I get down to her level, she'll lick me to death, won't you? Hey. Anyway, here we go. Bit of entertainment.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So that's your doggy, eh?
That's the doggy.
That's the dog. So yeah, there's someone brought up one of the topics I was going to mention on the stream. Bloody this week, we've been taken over by memes from the old Hock tour. Has everyone? I guess everyone's seen that. Let us know in the chat if you don't know what that is.
Yeah.
She's doing quite well for herself too. I think she's jumped on the bandwagon. So
yeah, supposedly people found out her name, but they're trying to find her legit like Instagram and stuff. But there's obviously a lot of fakes that have popped up.
yeah,
Trying to take all the fame but yeah, I'm sure if she did decide to do an OnlyFans or whatever it may be, like I did hear, it probably lies, but I did hear there was possibility of her getting into acting or something like that. But she's probably set up for a life. That's how weird social media is these days. You can just say one sentence that's funny, and all of a sudden you're famous.
How you
Hello
doing,
there,
Sakao?
Hi. I'm doing all right. Have a do. Yeah, actually, what I'm doing all right.
I had to ask what it was because I didn't see it. Now I can't not see memes since. Yeah.
I'm surprised you
Salty's-
didn't. I'm surprised you didn't see it, Mrs. Austin, with, or even because that did go viral, regardless of who you were. I think everyone would have seen it.
Yeah. Sipping tea like Kermit.
That's it.
And yeah, Stacy's saying that he's shouting out the hot friend as well. Her hot friend.
Yeah, hot friend. Yeah, I know. Old Souls will say something.
She was a little bit more shy, she was, but that's probably not a bad thing. The other girl might have had a bit too much to drink. She had a lot to say.
We'll
What
cover
are you
it.
drinking tonight?
Does
Some
anyone know the
Coca-Cola Zero and -196.
Oh, 196.
As well as some Coca-Colas in the Coca-Cola Zero sugar in the fridge.
Shorzy.
Shores, Geordie Shores, I think. Isn't that
That's
a
what-
team?
That's what came to my mind. Like, but I don't know if Just Rant or Reggie would sit and partake in that. I'm not sure though. But
You never know.
I guess they do call it the idiot box. You have to watch a bit of brain numbing stuff every now and again.
Yeah.
I haven't been live for almost 2 weeks. Which is me.
Yeah, no. I the other day when Mrs. Austin was live, I didn't catch all of it, and I was in and out of the truck as per usual. So, but Roger was there. I think Stylesy dropped in for a bit. It was good to what I did see of Mrs. Austin's recap. It was really good.
But I know Cherinator did I reckon he shared it to me. I haven't got around to watching it yet. He did a live, I reckon, on his new channel. Did you hear about that, Mark?
I've only recently subscribed to it, and I haven't had a chance to look at it.
So from my knowledge, he was telling me about his new channel. He told, well, all of us, but he's kind of wants to talk about mental health and just different people's, like, I guess, struggles in life.
Yep.
So the first person on his channel was a good old Lee G. So I did watch like a few minutes of it, but yeah, it looks like then both of them was having a bit of a deep and meaningful bit of a chat. That's yeah, Stephen Cherinator and Lee G from First Floor Audio.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No,
that'll be I reckon it might have went for about an hour, but yeah, that'll
I
be a
think
bit
it
of an
did. Yeah.
interesting
Yeah.
video.
It's certainly one I've got on my list to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'll just chuck that in the chat if anyone wants to go and support those guys, which will be good.
If he keeps at it, he'll be surprised where it will take him. It doesn't always have to be a deep and meaningful. It could be a local person from his neighbourhood, or a council representative or something like that, or it just could be a number of things.
Well, you might even see yours truly on there because he has been talking to me, but unfortunately, with the stuff that happened recently for me, I said to him, not right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's Cherinator Chat, and it goes for an hour and 1 minute, 52 seconds. And yeah, it's tonight's guest is Lee G from First Floor Audio.
Yeah,
So like
we
you said,
see.
Mark, funny enough, I said that I wanted to do stuff like that on this channel, but I guess first in best dressed or whatever. So he got there first, but yeah, you might see some breasts on here. I mean, you might see some guests on here sometime in that sort of manner of doing, like interviews. But like you were saying, Mark, that's what the idea I had is, like say if I get you when you're free, you can come on and you can kind of talk about your stuff. It's just a way to help plug other channels and also just
Yeah.
have some interesting chats where it's
Yeah.
directed. Either it can be mental health or stuff that someone struggles with, but also it can be, just people's passions and hobbies and whatever they want to talk about, really, just put them. So that's what I always thought that Hypersapien TV will be, besides doing live streams, will be a good place to do. I might even do them live, like the interview. So then if people in the chat want to ask questions to the individual, would be good. Oh, apparently I didn't turn it off. So who wants to dance? Stop spamming emotes.
Mrs. Austin.
Oh no. But apparently I turned it off because I disabled it. It says disabled, and Stylesy got away with it. So yeah, there you go. I think Nightbot's a little bit annoyed that we was teasing it and giving it some shit before. Peter saying black tape at the ready.
What? I was on your channel.
Oh, that's on your channel, Mark.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just realised.
I didn't realise until you said it. I looked
Oh,
over and I saw paired because Mrs. Austin says paired. So Nightbot's behaving on Hypersapien TV, but apparently over on Mark Shed Talks, you've got to watch yourself.
Well, I've
Watch
just
yourself.
yeah.
I've just made Mrs. Austin a moderator because it's got view
I
deleted
thought she's a
message,
moderator too. No,
and
she's a moderator on my channel.
how do you author? It's oh God. Sorry, Mrs. Austin. I do apologise. I didn't realise
Like
It,
Pierce what chats on it is on.
Yeah, I didn't realize Mrs. Austin was. I can see in Restream that it says paired when it's on a different channel, and I didn't
there's,
notice that until Mark said, "Oh,
so
mm,
Nightbot is holding the emoji, the laughing or crying emojis for no reason. How can I?
oh, good old Dave's testing it out on Hypersapien TV. He's well and truly testing it."
Yeah,
If you do want to do that tonight, Mark, if you fire up Nightbot
yeah.
and you on the left hand side, you've got all the keywords
All right, hang on.
to go to.
Do you mind if we do this just quickly now? What just?
Yeah, no, go for it. Go for it.
Oh, cool. What? Just go
People
to
can
what is
people
it?
can learn
Night
as we're watching. Yeah,
night
so
night.
fire up Nightbot and then obviously
It.
log in with your Google account that's attached to your YouTube. And on the left hand side, you've got all the commands or Nightbot, and you go down to spam protections, sort of in the middle of the column. And if you go into
Right. Here we
spam
are.
collection, it brings up a list, and I've disabled them all because, as I said, really a mod can sort that stuff out. So I went through that list before. But yeah, the excess emoji is the one it's getting triggered over. And I turned off I turned them all off, but excess caps as well, because as I said on other live streams, I've done like, a word in capital letters and it's put me in timeout or got angry at me. So,
Yeah. Righto.
hey there, Pete, welcome. I still haven't figured out how to turn it off yet, Mark.
Yeah. No, I got to. Uh,
Well, apparently Pete has never been hit by a Nightbot and he swears a lot.
yeah. Just hang on a second. Sorry to.
Dave's like spam, 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 spam.
I thought I'd be getting some sort of notification. Let me. I'll just take myself off and I'll sign in and I'll come back.
No worries. That's my first time laugh ass off. And
Yes.
yeah, I did notice what you said before, Cody. So he said Crows are up 33 points against GWS at half time, so he's happy right now.
Yeah, there's Adelaide Crows versus Great Western Sydney in an AFL football
Uh,
game, and
that's why
Crows are 33
that's
points in the lead.
and that's why Cody's not
Versus,
here, but he said he might join later. But yeah,
yeah, they said he might join later and after the AFL game's finished.
excess
I
caps.
never.
I do swear a lot. G is right. He's
Because
getting very excited now with his emojis. Give you guys as much watch time and funds as you can. Yeah, well,
well,
Nightbot, when it does its job, will remind people. But
it's very temperamental too. I think the old Nightbot. He's playing
yeah,
his sleep till he says something. Because
yeah. Well,
even for 1 second, it's going to be source. I'm going.
I was a Nightbot noob until earlier today. I've been meaning to put it on for a while, and I put it on and had to play around with how to take off those spamming of emojis, and
Hit a novel.
you can
The trick
do
is to a symbol occasion like penis and like put the symbols in certain words and stuff. Like Peter Noddle said,
Yeah, I did a
not
couple
all,
of
not all, but not all. What's the saying in England? Say, Jeff, mock your British accent and that'll.
I'd call it nottle.
Noddle. I usually say noddle.
Yeah, Australians tend to miss a lot of T's out.
No, we're just
Like nottle.
it's different accents. That's all. It sounds different to different people, and that.
It's pretty much how you roll the
Well,
tongue when
okay,
you say
I'm
it.
here the whole time. The last 20 years.
Stylesy jumped onto Mark Shed Talk or maybe Roger's stream, and it can't be Roger because he doesn't have Nightbot. So he's getting spam and emojis.
I'd link
Hi
to my channel
Nightbot
to
in
this
Mark's
restream
chat.
here.
Yeah, but you don't have Nightbot set up, is all.
Nah, I'm not game because I'm seeing how temperamental is in yours and Heart's channel.
Don't allow in the chat command section to not show the command. Yeah, I added a few commands. Didn't really know what to add, so I just did a couple just to test it out.
Righto, I'm in.
You're
Actually,
in?
yeah, I'm in. I should share this. I should share the screen, shouldn't I? It's on the other computer. Hang on. Righto. Right. So it says that Peter's is the top. Says see top chatters. Oh, Peter with 63 messages, just Rand already with 40, Stylesy with 36, Roger the Pirate.
Where'd you see those
Nobody
analytics?
likes me. Oh.
Sorry?
Where'd you see those
Nobody likes me.
analytics?
Oh.
All right, hang on a sec. I'll share that. I'll just hang on a second. Let's go here. Let's just see if it's going to do it. Hang on. You're right. Sorry, I'm disrupting everything.
No, that's all right. One day we'll get this all, not like working. And I don't know if we will actually. I think our stream would be weird if we had it all, working.
Organised properly.
Hmm.
Oh, come on. Right. Jeez, that's slow.
I decided to say something random.
Why?
Yeah, as I said, I only just kind of I've meant to have Nightbot on for a while, and I'm like, maybe I should get around to doing that. There's a few other bits and pieces I need to do on stream, and
Yeah.
if anyone in the chat hasn't noticed, I'd have moved around my desk and stuff again. It's probably not going to be like this forever, but for now, it's a little bit more comfortable how I've got stuff set out. Hello there, Becky. How are you there, Becky?
You're right, Peter. The awkward silence is the cornerstone of every live stream. Oh, Roger's gone.
Oh, Roger's got his setup a bit different than when he did it by himself.
You'll just have to bring me in on the second thing there, please, G.
Yep. So we've also got Pete as well here. So we'll go. How are you, Pete?
Mate, I'm good. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, you're welcome, man.
It's very nice to finally chat with you and Mark.
Yeah, it's been a while. I just said it's nice to chat to us.
Oh, right, okay.
Mark's playing around with 2 of his devices. We'll put them down here. We'll have Pete up here with us. It's a
Everyone's
bit weird with you
everyone's going
both
to go,
on different.
what the hell is going on?
Sorry, boys. I'm a bit nervous. So, like, my camera's not going to show me.
Yeah,
Oh, no,
too
that's
easy.
fine. You're all good, man.
Right,
Thank
so
you.
this is what I'm showing on my screen. Right, so
Oh,
if you click on that, it brings up this other screen and gives you
wow.
Who the fuck did that?
What the fuck was that? What happened?
Mate, there is a terrorist among us.
Is that your door, Roger?
What? That's my back door. I just putting something in the bin, that's all.
Jesus Christ.
You might want to put some oil on there.
Oh, man. So what was dashboard and then you go up the top, did you say? So
So dashboard, and you just go over to the right, and that'll give you your top chatters. You can click on that. So if you click on that, it gives you the top people in your stream who've put the most messages in. So, I mean, for some people that might be useless information, but you know.
oh, that's pretty good, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was wondering where you was getting that from. You've said it before. Yeah, just rant already. 28 messages sent. Then we have
Yeah.
Stalsy coming in with the 24
Yeah.
and Dave with the 18 and then everyone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's good to know. Cheers.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I didn't know, and then because is it a little bit different on yours? Is it?
Oh, I have different people because of, is that what you mean? I've got different top chatters than you.
Yeah. So, and it shows the recent time out, and
Yeah.
so how do we sort of let people post emojis?
Oh, did you not turn off the spam protection?
Where's that?
So you know where the left-hand side where it says Nightbot and it has the dashboard and all of that.
Yep.
Go down to spam protection. It's in sort of the middle of the list. It's under song request
Oh, yeah.
above timers.
Spam protection. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so click on that and then it brings up a list, and that's where the excess emoji is, and then you can enable or disable. So I've disabled them all because, as I said, mods should be able to take care of anyone that is, playing silly
Yep.
buggers, or one of us can see it. But yeah, excess caps and excess emotes are definitely ones I wanted to turn off because, yeah, as mentioned before on other live streams, I've acted like a twat and
Disabled.
put in capitals and stuff.
Yep.
There we go. Oh, Pete's got some lovely plantage.
Well, I've given up on just covering my camera with my hands, so I'm just, holding it.
That's fine. You can just
Sorry, I
put the
probably
one you.
shouldn't even be so shy, but I just don't want to show myself. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, man.
It's
That's
all
all
right.
good.
It's
It's
totally up
probably
to you,
doing you
man.
a favor because I'm a fat, ugly fuck.
Oh,
What
that's
fun
another.
ugly fuck myself to have my face.
Oh, if you got a desk or whatever, just put your phone down. If
Oh, keep it near me. It's all good. I appreciate you guys. It's all good.
that's all right.
Righto. So, all right. That looks like I've. Oh, okay. Stop sharing. All right. So you don't have to. You don't have to save it or anything like that.
Nah,
Okay.
All right, if someone wants to test out emojis in Mark's chat and see if it's disabled. But have you
That-
noticed as well, Mark, that the chat icon is covered by the need help in Restream now?
I might show
No,
you my balcony.
no, I
So
didn't notice that.
they added a new feature called Notes to the list on the right hand side where it's got all the people live. But yeah,
Oh, sorry.
the chat,
On Restream.
Restream. So you know where the music is in
Yep,
Restream, and
yep,
now they've added Notes to it.
yes,
But
yes.
they push down the chat icon, but it's covered by the need help. You can press it, but it's quite fiddly. So Mrs. Austin is sharing lots of love hearts. So I reckon that's good to go. Nightbot's behaving now.
Okay, man, that does have to do something. That's all.
Starsy went over just to test it out and get his revenge on Nightbot.
Go your hardest, Stylesy.
Oh,
Look at
happy
that.
birthday on Monday for good old Becky. I'll probably speak to him before then, but if we don't, happy birthday. Oh, wow.
Where
Got a
are
bit
you,
of
Pete?
action from Pete.
Pardon?
Whereabouts are you?
Oh, dude, I'm just in Canberra. That's just from my apartment. It's nothing special.
Oh, mate, it looks good.
Oh, yeah, it's just a couple of buildings. It's interesting. Right across from my apartment is a petrol station, and every now and then a bunch of crackheads like to reconvene around that area, and they yell at each other, and they make it really hard for me to sleep throughout the night.
Oh, no. I remember when
So,
I went to good old Queensland on holiday once, and they was doing outside the hotel. They was doing construction work, and just as you're trying to sleep, you just hear all these power tools going off.
oh mate, it's an experience. Yeah, living in a city is nice, but it's not nice at the same time.
People were saying it's a nice view, and Dave's saying land of the roundabouts, Canberra.
I've got something to actually show Mark. There was about 2 or 3 weeks back. I was having a shitty sleep for quite a bit.
Yep.
I was up around 3, 4 a.m. just taking pictures with my camera because I was fucking bored. I had nothing else to do.
Mm.
And I swear to you, like one of the fucking photos I took, I looked back on it and there was something weird in it. Like every other picture was just nothing. But then there's one photo, there's this weird looking thing in it.
Do you want to share the photo, or
I'm gonna have to find a way to share it. It's on my digital camera, but it's literally what makes me think it's weird is because if I zoom in on it, it's got features, and it's just weird.
well, if you do want to share it sometime, you can obviously share it in Discord whenever you're ready, or if you want to,
Oh
and we'll
yeah,
look at it and we can talk about
100%
it
I
on the
will.
live stream if you want.
100% I
Roger's
will.
If
It's
Roger, I
that's
think.
easier for you to do, Pete, on Discord, yeah, that'd be the way to go.
Thank you.
I will. It's this weird looking thing, man. It's cigar shaped, and it's just got these. It's just weird. I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, I'll put pictures of it in the UFO chat for sure.
Yeah, if I'm sure if you've seen it, somebody else has. That's for sure.
So it was in the sky, was it, Pete?
Oh yeah, 100%. It was like I was taking pictures. I was like, do, just taking pictures. And when I looked back on them, there was something there that wasn't there in any of the others.
Yep.
Well, with the
I know where
with the
Fish Week
technology
is.
that oh look at
Yeah,
Roger.
Fish Week's where all the brothels are, man.
Look at Roger. He's in the TV down there.
Oh, seriously though, if you visit Canberra, that's the one thing about Fish Week, man. Fish Week is where all the brothels are.
I know.
We call
I
that.
got a cousin who
Well, we
lives
used to
there.
call that. Used to call that Hindley Street in South Australia
Canberra,
or
this.
Adelaide. I think it's pretty tame these days, but I used to drive down Hanson Road, Hindley Street's in town. Hanson Road was where all like you get the ladies of the night out and about. There they are, putting their hand out, trying to lure you into
Get you a few
their
dollars here and there.
arm. Yeah,
Wait,
trying to make
random
a living.
random question: is prostitution illegal? Like
No.
in most areas?
Well,
It's legal.
sex work in an establishment is legal, but I think it depends on what state as well. There's obviously different laws in each state, but yeah, you can't just do prostitution in the street and stuff.
Yeah, the laws in Australia are a bit weird. I mean, in fucking Queensland's a bit more relaxed. I mean, have you ever heard of soft gel guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, they got banned. I know.
Not in Queensland, they're a thing. It's fine. You can bloody get right into it in Queensland.
Yeah, I remember when a few lads that I knew, they were younger blokes and they got into it, and then they brought in different laws here when it started becoming more popular. I'm pretty sure you can't do it in South Australia now. I don't know the exact law, but yeah, I know it
No.
changed.
I think everywhere but Queensland, it's illegal.
Yeah,
It's funny,
right.
really. Queensland's the nanny state with a lot of things. We don't have any legal nude beaches here, where the other states do. It's a bit.
I want a legal nude beach. I want to see some bush.
It's America if you want to sing Bush.
Go fuck that.
Hey Peter, if you got some free time on your hand, go have a look at the Black Tape project on YouTube.
Black Tate?
No, Black Tape.
Black Tape.
Yeah,
Can you
Black
shoot me?
Tape.
Come on, shoot me into
Black
Discord. I'll have a look for sure.
All right. Yeah, it's not hard to find.
Someone hook them up with it on Discord. Oh, we used to play
Thank
it
you.
on here, but we used to play it on here just as like a little segment, just for a laugh. And then they gave me a copyright strike, and it wasn't actually Black Tape Project that gave me the strike. It was this fashion week we were watching, and we were all having a laugh. And then I got a strike and a warning, and they took down the live stream. I reckon
Wait,
it was because Cody was getting a bit too excited. I reckon.
Oh yeah.
It's basically women. It's women, but they put like actual black tape, but they kind of make like bikinis out of them and wrap it around the woman. But it actually is done quite well, not just like it's Dave in his shed just wrapping
Done with
black
class.
tape around him. Yeah, like it actually looks quite good.
Wait, why is every time we see like footage of a UFO or a Yeti or anything odd, why is it always filmed with a fucking shittest camera ever made?
Everyone asks that question.
The funny thing is though, I've tried to take stuff on cameras before, and just it looks like shit. Like it looks like just a blurry mess. So most of the time, I just go, oh, I can't be bothered. Like even trying to just like show someone and discuss it, because it could be anything if it's just a blurry mess.
True.
Well, yeah, even with phones these days, like I've tried to take pictures of the moon, and they don't come out that great.
Hey Jay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever seen what you think might be a UFO? Something strange?
Well, I've seen flying saucers, which I've spoke about on lives before. I've seen them a couple of times when I was younger. I saw one huge vehicle, I guess you could call it. I guess it was a UFO because it was unidentified. It was flying object, but it was it was unidentified, but it was definitely identifiable, if you know what I'm saying. Like I could see it and could quite obviously work out what it is. That was in Adelaide Hills about, I don't know, probably mid to late my mid 20s, which was about 10 years ago.
What was the one time you've seen something you think, holy shit, this is not right?
Yeah.
Like
Well, the
that?
flying saucers were interesting. They kind of acted like the actual vehicle itself had consciousness, the way it was interacting. But the one that I saw in Adelaide Hills, 'cause the other ones were in England. The one I saw in Adelaide Hills was just, yeah, crazy. It was like something out of Star Wars or Star Trek or whatever. It was
Jesus.
pretty low in orbit though. As in, it was, if you tried, you could probably, if you had a good arm on you, you could probably throw like a rock or something at it. You'd probably have to have quite a good arm though. But yeah, it was
It
quite.
was that close.
It was well, there was like a double, triple story house out where we were, and it wasn't that much higher than that. But yeah,
Holy cow.
I mean, I can quickly go over the story. I've said it a few times. We went out there, we parked, and we may have partaken in a little bit of smokage, which
Yeah, it's all good.
some people might think discredits the story, but no, it was very real. I was with one bloke who I was in the front passenger seat. There was a bloke driving. Probably shouldn't say this on a live stream, but anyway, there was a
Oh,
bloke
good.
in the back seat, and we saw like this. Well, like basically, because I've been interested in the topic for ages. I've seen stuff when I was younger. I was loved my X Files, so the truth is out there. In the distance, saw this like glowing orb or light just cruising around. So I did what me pretending to be Mulder, like Fox Mulder or whatever. I wound down the window because I'm like, you need to try to get rid of any explanation you can. So wound down the window. If it's a plane or a helicopter, you'll hear noise normally quite easily. Wound it
You normally
down. There
do,
was
yeah.
no noise. There was no noise, so we sat and watched it for a while, and it was getting kind of closer and all that stuff. So ended up saying to the driver to flick his lights on and off. So he did that, and then it looked like the vehicle like hid behind the trees. So it kind of looked like it was trying to camouflage itself. And then when it done that, it was getting a little bit lower and coming towards us more. And we were, talking about other stuff and going back and forth a bit like you do. I was pretty damn interested though, and yeah, I was getting ready to step out of the vehicle and like walk towards it so I could like physically see what this light was because it was nighttime, dark. You can't really see much. You can only see obviously the light really. But then the guy in the back seat, funny enough, he's the guy that has came on live streams a few times to cause issues recently. He was one of the people with me, funny enough. Maybe he did get abducted and they did something to him. But yeah, the guy in the back seat was getting like hysterical and stuff. He was, leave, like go, and like freaking out. And the because the driver was kind of listening to me saying, "Oh, this is interesting," like trying to get him to interact with it. In the end, as it got a little bit closer and all that stuff, the guy in the back was getting to the point where he was kind of like moving a lot in his seat and even like shaking the front seats a bit, like really getting upset. So he convinced the driver to drive off, and he's like, "Oh, leave. Oh, let's get out of here." And the driver went. When we was leaving though, because it was in the hills and there's kind of like big dips in the road where it will go in line with the hill, the car cut out as he was going off. And he was freaking out, the driver. Oh, what do I do? I just said, I don't know, pump the brakes a bit. Because he was going, I don't know, maybe 20, but picking up speed going down like, curves and stuff.
Mm.
So he did manage to slow the vehicle down so he didn't sort of like lose control. And then typical when we was fairly far away, but still in the area, but they started getting all of a sudden quite brave and like, oh, what do you think that is? What do you think that is? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What? And I said, oh, do you want to know what that is? And they said, yeah. I said, "Oh, let's go back and find out." So I convinced the driver to go back and find out. And then when we went to the same area, we're looking around, and where it wasn't there. It wasn't anywhere where you would imagine it being in the same sort of direction as it was. But I forget which one of us. One of us, we were sort of looking up and out the window a bit. You're putting your head out the window a bit and looking like straight up above the car. And then we saw it, but it didn't look like just obviously a glowing light or an orb. Like it kind of looked like a big orb or something before. And it was just this big vehicle, and it didn't have wings. It had kind of like, I remember explaining it, kind of like fins, because they came out of the main part of the ship. So they weren't wings like an aeroplane or whatever. They were kind of like just dorsal fins or fins of a fish. How it kind of just more looked naturally. But yeah, it was. I remember seeing as well the like on a plane when it's quite close and it's at night time, the windows, but you could see the light coming from inside the vehicle. So I remember I was looking to try to see if there was, you could see a person or I don't know, maybe a naked alien walking around, maybe get a bit of a glimpse, wonder if I could see, his breast, naked alien breast. But nah, we saw that and we all kind of, they weren't freaked out this time, but we was all kind of amazed and just wondering what the hell it was. So we ended up, it was moving by this point. So we followed it for ages. We followed it from Adelaide Hills into the suburbs. And I remember it was cruising like fairly fast, but not too fast that you couldn't keep up in a car. And it always amazed me looking like once that happened, always amazed me how low down in orbit it is, but a high enough for it not to be that noticeable. But you wouldn't notice it really if you're just doing stuff. If you just, I don't know, come out of laundry mat, drying your clothes or whatever at night time, or going for a Macca's run, like you wouldn't be really looking for it, so you wouldn't notice it. It was always crazy how slow like how low it is, and we was able to follow it for a while until it started getting more towards like the main, going from like the suburbs in the hills where it's fairly dead, there's lower population out there, to as you get into the busier suburbs where people were going to back and forth a lot more, almost going towards town where it's the traffic's always a little bit more busy. We ended up just like not being able to really keep up with it, and it was just cruising at a pretty steady pace. So the triple-breasted whore, Peter Nottle says. But yeah, then after that, we went to have a celebratory smoke after seeing such a situation. You have to go and discuss it after, of course, over a bit of a cannabis. But we went and had a chat about it. And I remember they were coming up, my friends or whatever at the time. I don't like them now, but that's a different story. We was having a chat, and they was coming up with all these really. So was Pete got a piece of toast?
No, I'm trying to entice the fucking birds because
Oh,
I
birds not
actually,
disturbed.
where I live, there's a shitload of cockatoos that will rock up and be like right in front of me. I'm trying to make it happen right now. I don't know if it will happen. I'm trying to entice the bastards. I don't know where the fuck they are, but they're assholes. They come here and fight. All right, can I show you something a bit grisly?
Yeah, as long as it's not like
You see that?
naked or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wake up to find that they've been fucking fighting or something. Look at that blood. It's disgusting. It's on my balcony. It's disgraceful. These
Clean it up.
stupid birds just need a piece of bread, all right? I'll just give them the bread. Oh, sorry, someone has a small dick down there and he's fucking rev their car. Anyway, I've got the bread.
I think we've lost Pete.
Yeah, things get a bit angry too. He's middle of saying something, and where you are, geez, it is a UFO hotspot where you're seeing it. Adelaide Hills,
Yeah, and,
Victoria and Tasmania's a
Pine,
UFO hotspot in Australia.
Pine Gap's not. That's in Alice Springs, right? That's not that. That's not that far away from South Australia.
Yeah.
But when they was like saying the names, they was coming up with some weird names of what we could refer it to. And I was like laughing at them, and they said, "Oh, what would you call it?" And I said, "Oh, it'd probably be called something very unhuman, like Shizbu." And everyone laughed, and that's what we referred to it as, Shizbu. So I'm like, "Oh, it's just gonna be a word or like stuff that's not anything that's comprehensible to humans, It would be like Shizbu." And yeah, I have seen some other weird stuff after that, but yeah, that was a very very odd situation.
Yeah, well, we're definitely not alone. We can't be. It's a mathematical improbability that we're not alone, considering, only 200 years ago, everybody thought that the sun revolved around us. We were the centre of the universe, and there's some people
You
who.
mean I'm not?
I was just going to say.
You were going to
I was just going to follow up with some people think that
make it.
they are the centre of the universe.
Wasn't until the 1980s we started discovering other planets outside our solar system. Extra solar planets are called, like revolving around other stars.
Yeah, that's right.
That's in the 80s, in early 90s.
Yeah, and
So I remember
now,
reading something about it, that's all. In the book, when I was a
and
little kid, and it said discovering
well,
extra solar planets and revolving around other stars.
well, just
Also,
have a look at
Started.
what's the names, the things they're finding now with the James Webb telescope. It has greater capabilities and so on and so forth. And if you look out into the night sky, if it's not polluted by, city lights and things like that, they reckon there's 1.5 Earth-like planets per star
Yeah.
So every star you
A
can see in the
decade, yeah.
sky, there is 1.5 Earth-like planets, and you just multiply that.
well, the thing
With
that
trillions of
trips me
planets.
when you go through experiences like that, I look back and try to make try to logically work out what's going on. But it's in the hills over it was kind of on a road that there was a person's house. There's normally gates and stuff that stop you obviously from getting the property.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the hills, they have just acres of land or whatever, like they just have this way too much land for them to even, most of them aren't even doing nothing with it. It's just they own the land. They don't want you to go on their property. And we're just sitting around doing what younger blokes do, just relaxing, But going back to like the Shizbu, it's like, what was it doing out there, and why would it kind of, like, so then stuff would go through my head like maybe it's Men in Black and there's a naked alien on the loose and they're trying to do what they do in the Men in Black movies and go down and
Yeah.
take it. But yeah, it's just
Yeah.
but it's just weird to work out like why they obviously had a purpose being out there, but what the hell were they doing? Maybe they were just doing what we did, and that's just they're going there and having a smile. Oh, we got a bit of time to kill. Let's just do this, and then all of a sudden, a couple of little Caucasian blokes were annoying them, flicking their lights at them, and they're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake, we're just trying to relax." And these twats
Yeah,
are
do our thing.
trying to annoy us. So there you go. Thank you, Nightbot. Please like the stream if you like what you see,
Definitely.
or not if you like what you see, but if you like what you hear. Oh, Cody's loving life right now. I drew a picture of the Earth in primary school on a piece of paper, therefore it's flat. I can't argue with that logic.
Oh, we've just hit the 1 hour mark.
Thank you, everyone, for being here.
Alien eggplant. Where do you get those from?
Oh, Dave should have access to the special emojis. Oh no, that's on Funkin' Hungry. What am I on about? I need to get this channel monetized so I can get squirting emojis on here as well. In Adelaide Field, be more likely to be drug runners. Was that how they get rid of the drugs now? They go and they wouldn't be detected if they're like flying, dropping stuff off.
Oh, they'd be using
I did
drones, wouldn't
when I did a bit of research, they do say that some of the analytics and some of the findings or information from Pine Gap goes to Port Adelaide.
they? Yeah, right.
So maybe they transport it that way.
ABC TV did a series recently about Pine Gap, and I think I watched the first one, but I haven't watched any of the others. So if anyone's interested, go have a look at that.
You know what the name was, or is it just ABC Pine Gap?
Something to spies in Australia or something like that, or something along the. You'd easily find it
American
on.
spies, yeah.
You'd
The
easily
CIA
find
and
it on
that.
the ABC app or
Yes.
iView or something
Something
like
to do
that.
with the CIA in Australia. Like,
I mean,
spying in Australia with the use of intelligence in Pine Gap, or whatever it's called. I heard a lot
it'd
about
be
it, that's
interesting.
because
It'd be interesting, but you know they're not going to put that much information if it's on mainstream TV.
It's called Spies in the Outback,
Oh yeah.
and there is 5 episodes so far. So
yeah, but they put up like a bots because otherwise they get an Epstein.
Yeah, that's it.
but if
You guys
anyone's
know,
interested,
you guys have it.
each episode it's 30 minutes, and it's well worth a watch.
I'd love to go down there and do what people do, where they try to go to Area 51 and just. Obviously, you're most likely not going to see or witness anything, but it could be just fun to do the trip
Remember
and
the
just,
so-called let's raid Area 51 about 5-6 years back?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
yeah,
raid
yeah.
Area 51. We might find stuff there. It didn't happen, but so Facebook about it because I remember Robert Pavlos said something about it and had a good laugh when we were seeing the post of it and stuff. We just
Yeah,
sit there
yeah, I
and smoked
remember.
it and laughed at it and stuff.
Have you guys looked into Pine Gap and have heard any weird stories from people about it?
No, not really. I know it's there. A lot of people know it's there. There's people every so often they'll go out there and protest about it, but it's been there for what 30, 40 years or however long it's been there, and
Close to 50, what I've heard.
yeah, it's been there a long time, and it's part of the network that the Americans use to keep an eye on, their friendly neighbours, so to speak, or unfriendly neighbours.
There's no
Yeah,
doubt.
I remember I've seen or listened to different. Anyone knows everyone knows it's there. Let us know in the chat if you don't know it's there. Let us know if you didn't know it's there. But I remember there was one story where like the actual landscape itself can open either portals or open up like to get inside the place. Know how it just looks like a side of a hill or whatever, but it's actually they've integrated a part of the parts of the building into it. But I believe it was from memory, an Aboriginal fellow was out there and he said that these like portal things opened and these little drones come out. Like these little, I guess you could call them UFOs because they're unidentified and flying and an object. Yeah, it's been a while since I've looked into it, but I do remember a few little stories I've came across. Of course, I guess even like my story, people listening to what I've shared tonight, really, unless you were there, feel free to not believe me or whatever. It's
I believe you.
hard to believe stuff that's just been said by someone else. And there's a
But
lot
I
of
believe you.
disinformation about there. Yeah, like me personally, I don't see any point in just making up some bullshit stories. And if I was, I probably could have made up a better story than that.
Yeah, because
But yeah, it's
I can rush that. You never vary from something to be truthful. You don't try to vary vary from what you say in that because you vary
yeah,
it a little bit during the stories and that when you tell people start discrediting you after a while. That's how they dissect you. So
yeah.
first up, you said this, then you said this, then you said this, and that's how you make out to be a liar after a while, even though you might be telling the truth in one of those things.
And I think I shared that story one of the first times I properly spoke to Mark about stuff. We had chats before, but when we spoke about that topic, and I have shared it a few times on live streams, but yeah, obviously Pete wasn't there at those times because he hadn't heard that. Yeah, the movie Paul with Simon Pegg, Nick Frost, and it has Seth Rogen as the grey alien Paul. That's quite a good movie, but like I was saying before, it'd be cool just to go down and take the trip to Pine Gap and just
So,
maybe
where
even
am I?
maybe even camp out and have a look around. I'm interested in stuff, but I wouldn't really want to annoy people too much. I'm not like Roger was saying, where I would just want to riot or rush places. But I've always been interested in that stuff, and I do know that a lot of information is kept from us, but
How do we do it?
to an extent, I understand why, because there's a lot of very skittish people, a lot of people that wouldn't be able to handle it. So who knows what would happen really if it was publicized. But I think touching on the movie Paul, they go to Area 51 and different landmarks. They're from England. They go into a Comic Con in America, and they want to make the trip to Area 51 as well. So it's a pretty fun movie. Peter
Yeah,
shared the show Spies in the Outback.
yep.
I'll have to chuck that on my phone or whatever, because definitely wouldn't mind seeing it. As I said, I'm sure it's dumbed down or washed out a little bit because it's on mainstream TV, but it's always. I mean, I guess I can't really talk if I haven't seen the show, but
I've watched the first, like I said, I've watched the first episode, and it's done by one of the local reporters there in around the town, and it gives a bit of a history and the first episode was quite interesting, but I haven't just gone back. I should sit down and watch the rest of it because you always find out something that you didn't know.
yeah, it's like that other one that you told me about. It's like a lot of the stories or a lot of the episodes or whatever I've looked into, but you always hear it from a different point of view or a little bit of a different twist or whatever. Welcome back, Pete.
Thank you. Sorry about that before.
It's all good, mate.
Oh, no worries, man. We was talking about Pine Gap for a bit because we was just saying that South Australia is fairly close to it.
Oh man, I missed out on the interesting shit.
Yeah, and there's a ABC series we're talking about Pine Gap, Spies in the Outback. It's a series that Mark said he's seen the first episode, and I wrote it down, and they shared the link as well. I'll share the link in my chat if you want to. But yeah, it's
Man,
on ABC. You can get it from the ABC website, Spies in the Outback.
there's so many fucking theories on like what's going on. I mean, like, are aliens something we haven't discovered yet, or are they already living among us?
Yeah, they are. I believe they are among us, and there's quite a few people that subscribe to that theory as well. If you, we've definitely been visited. That's for sure. There's overwhelming evidence that we've been visited. Now, one of the researchers out of America, he's passed away now, but Stanton Friedman, you can see some of his lectures on YouTube. He was a physicist by trade, really good gentleman to listen to when he gave a talk or a presentation. And he used to have a saying where something along the lines of not all UFOs are alien and not all aliens are UFOs or something like that. It's a really good, you know, in other words, some UFOs are man-made, like reverse engineered, we've advanced that much. And there are also genuine UFOs or unidentified flying objects. But now, of course, they've changed the acronym to UAP, unidentified. It used to be unidentified aerial phenomena. Now it's unidentified anomalous phenomena. I just said it before.
You're right.
Or UAP. And when you start diving into it, you realise that there's a lot of things that are connected. There's sort of often one thing will go hand in hand with the other thing. Like some people will see UFOs and Bigfoot encounters at the same time, that sort of thing.
Funny enough, I haven't got into my cryptids for quite some time, really. Yeah, most of this year, really. But last year and the previous year, I really got into it. And yeah, again, like I was saying before, people who listen to my stories, they can just think, oh, it's a load of bullshit or whatever. The same as if I listen to someone else's story, I could. This, but yeah, there's a lot of cryptid stories that I've got into. I've mentioned to Mark before, and that's how we spoke about Spaced Out Radio, because someone that I listen to, Swamp Dweller, who does horror narration, but he also does like real life horror or real life situations that people get into themselves that aren't cryptid related. But I really like his cryptid stuff where it's, the way he presents it, what episode is going to be a cryptid one. He will put it in the title or thumbnail, or he'll let you know what's what. But yeah, he there's a lot of, they call it creepy pasta, is the like horror narration or narrating stories that have like a bit of adrenaline added to it, a bit of suspense and stuff. But yeah, the cryptid stuff I really got into and enjoyed. And Dogman, that is one that fascinated me. Dogman is basically a lichen or a werewolf or whatever you want to call it. But if you go delve into that cryptid, it's just like Mark was saying about Bigfoot, Yeti, Yowie in Australia. And again, when it comes to Dogman and other ones, they obviously have different names depending on what your origin of country or whatever is, or your race or whatever your upbringing is. But the Native Americans very much believe a lot of this. Skinwalkers is I very much got into and enjoyed the narration for. But skinwalkers are basically, they have to do all this stuff and they curse themselves and they deal with black magic or dark energies and stuff, and they end up becoming a skinwalker where the Native Americans, they don't like to mention the word, they don't like to talk about it because they say if
Oh,
you talk,
Wendigos and stuff. Do you
yeah,
like
yeah,
Wendigos and stuff?
yeah, that's another sort of cryptid. But yeah, if you talk about it and all that stuff, they say that it sort of brings it into your reality, I guess, or brings it into, like you're calling them. But there's been a lot of stories I've listened to that are very wild. Of skinwalkers can mimic your friends' voices, and some
Yeah,
they say that there's like crack into their voices, and it sounds a little bit like a radio, how it's trying to tune itself into
yeah,
your voice, and there's different
yeah. They
variations
usually
of how they
tune in
look.
your voices of people you know, like your friends,
Yeah.
family, or whatever. Yeah, they
There's
try
lots of
to mimic
stories
it.
where people go to cabins or whatever, and a couple of their friends go to get some supplies, and they think they're coming back. They hear them or whatever, and all of a sudden it turns out to be, a skinwalker
Something
who's
else.
they're a bit of a shapeshifter.
Yeah,
That's very interesting. And
there's
yeah,
no.
with Dogman, it's again like I guess because those cultures have been around, like Aboriginals type cultures, they've been around so long, so they've experienced stuff where there's very little technology or involvement from humans. A lot of the landscape is natural, so they're dealing with all this sort of stuff. And yeah, Dogman was very interesting though as well.
Hey
Yeah, there's a lot
Jay,
of
hey
creatures.
Jay,
There's a yeah.
what? I'm just coming in from like somebody who doesn't know. What is Dogman?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
Dogman is basically a werewolf, but some people say obviously that they're shapeshifters, the whole werewolf idea. But a dogman is just, they're about 6 to 7 foot tall. They're a dog or a wolf, but a lot of people say they're kind of like more of a dog, and they can walk on their hind legs, but they can also run on all fours. But they stand really tall. Normally, most of the time, they're depicted as a very dark fur, and they're muscly as shit, like like huge muscly creatures. Because I guess you can imagine they're living in the environment in nature, so they're constantly involving with nature, which means obviously they're running around and moving and jumping over trees and whatever. Not over a tree, but over fallen trees, like
Yeah, they're
logs or
big.
whatever. But if you get into this any of the creepy pasta narration, like there's a lot of stories where people have spoke about them, and yeah, they're really interesting. Sometimes people might just see them interacting with whatever they're doing, and they kind of leave them be. But some stories, people claim that they attack them or whatever. So
All right.
cheers, Dave. Take care, man. But yeah, the dog man. So it's basically, I guess, how it sounds, a dog man. But they're normally depicted as 6, 7 foot, like normally taller than most average humans, and muscly, and got a long snout with rows of teeth and stuff. And most
Yeah.
people shit themselves when they see it. And obviously, when it comes to most cryptids, because we're told this stuff is coming from movies and fairy tales or folklore, people are just instantly tuned out of that stuff. If you see something like that, they'll expect it to be, like they're not walking around expecting it. So when you are to interact with any of these cryptids, obviously people shit themselves. I'm not saying I wouldn't, but there are some people that are interested in that stuff, so you're slightly more tuned into. If you were to see stuff like that, you might not react so unrationally or whatever, irrationally.
Yeah,
Is but but yeah, I can't really say I've there's been folklore or stories that family have told me. Like I remember my mum when I was younger, she said that in Ireland there used to be this, they called it like a banshee, and it was
oh, Banshee. Yeah, I
normally
remember that.
normally at night time, a certain time of night, you go down to like a river, and this woman's seen crying on the edge of the river, and the story
You usually
supposedly is that
means so there's a death in that. Yeah,
yeah,
the
the
close
story is
family friend and
supposedly that
whatever.
like their child drowned or whatever, so they go and warn that child at at a certain time, place, or whatever, and all that stuff. So like there's many sort of stories like that I've been told when I was younger. So I guess that piqued my interest, and the fact that a lot of stuff out of Hollywood really is like people aren't that original really to come out with most of this stuff. So a lot of the horror creatures and the stuff from a horror film is based on truth, even when it comes down to exorcisms or whatever, like that sort of stuff. Obviously a lot of them are based on true story, but you can just tell it's all hyped up and all exaggerated just for the scare factors. It's like Conjuring was based on a true story, and I've looked into that, but like for an example is when the woman gets possessed, she like the demon or the creature starts vomiting all this black stuff. Obviously that's just like to visually show you the audience that the woman's being possessed.
Yeah.
In real life it wouldn't be so dramatic, but it's exaggerated just so visually the audience will go, oh, I guess something's happening to her, like that's not normal. But yeah, that's my spill on it.
No, it's very good, mate. Very good. Thank you.
Now, no worries. I mean, I could talk about this stuff till the cows come home or till the dog man knocks on the door
What
and
question for you?
says to me, "Stop fucking talking about me."
It's a quick question for you and Mark. Do
Yeah,
you
go.
think dreams have anything to do with reality, or they're just a load of shit?
Oh, well,
I'm hoping they're a load of shit because some of my recent nightmares were fucked.
from what
Fucked.
from what I understand, and I've had some crazy dreams, not real nightmares. They can seem real, or they do seem so real because of it's to do with the state of sleep you're in.
REM,
That
REM state.
REM state, yeah.
Yeah, Rem said, yeah.
I have heard this talked about, and there's people, once again, YouTube's a great thing because if you type in sort of any subject, you'll come up with some
Something,
fantastic.
yeah.
You'll get some crazy stuff on there, obviously, but there's some genuine stuff on there that people talk about dreams and so on. Dreams are definitely important. They're there for a reason. They're probably to do with our subconscious trying to maybe tell us something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
People
They're
would.
usually,
Yeah, sorry, Roger.
yeah, there's different, there's different reasons for different sleeps and stuff too, like different dreams and that. They usually say you got a certain thing in life you need to sort out, or you will find happiness in your life, you are finding happiness in your life, whatever. Whatever state you sleep, whatever dreams trying to convey you a message and that, saying you're finding
yeah.
message.
Like if you look at it
Different
from a
stages
spiritual
and that, yeah.
aspect, they say like numerology and all the different stuff. They say that dreams, like Roger was saying, is
Astrology.
some dreams have a certain meaning. If you see like like a butterfly or something, like they try to say that there's certain aspects that could be trying to tell you to change parts of your lives. And some dreams are obviously just all your subconscious, like a lot of people that watch a horror film, they will go and dream about that, and that's obviously because it's playing on your subconscious mind. It's you're scared, it will carry on in a dream. But for me to answer that question is when
How
I
do you
was
explain a nightmare though?
well, nightmare is just obviously like fear based and stuff like that, or could just be very interesting, like gory stuff. But there probably is a message in there as well, depending on what sort of dream it is. Like say if I don't know, I've had zombie sort of dreams before, but I feel like that's probably not having control in your life, or maybe scared to lose someone. So you may be scared to lose a few people or not have control over a situation. So it could be that, but in the setting of like monsters or a serial killer or zombies or whatever. Not being able to control the situation or scared of losing loved ones or whatever. When I have discussed the dreams again on different live streams, I probably should really label live streams like what we talk about so it's easier to find. What about wet dreams? Oh no,
Wet dreams.
I haven't weed the bed in a while there, Stolesy. Is that what you're on about? I
Dude, I've
remember,
never
I
fucking
rem-
had one of those.
have
That's
you?
apparently a thing. I've never had one.
I haven't lived. I remember when we were younger, we convinced a friend, myself and another friend, knew what wet dreams were, and we was like saying to this friend that didn't know what they were. We were like, "Oh, you've never had one?" It's like, "Oh man," and he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he was all saying, "Oh yeah, I love having wet dreams and stuff." And we just laughed our ass off because he was, when someone doesn't know something but they pretending they know, and we're just like, "Oh really?" It's like, "Yeah, I haven't." And stuff.
What about that thing? Like, if someone's asleep, if you put their hand in like some water, they piss themselves. Because I've tried that
Yeah,
on a few people, and no one's pissed themselves.
I have heard that, but I don't really understand the logic. Like, I could probably understand more if you put like running water near someone's ear, like
It,
for that,
it's
that
supposed
sound.
it's supposed to be warm water, and usually you do that sort of thing when you're on a school camp, like when you're in grade 7 or 8 or something like that.
More like you do that thing when you're a cunt.
That as well.
Come on.
But apparently, I don't think that sort of thing happens anymore. Maybe it does, but yeah, that's the legend.
I have spoke about this in depth before, Pete, but when I was younger, I used to be able to like pre-program dreams, and that was because of nightmares or me having dealings with different situations. But I used to be able to I remember, it was as weird as it sounds. I used to visualize like this. Remember cassette
Yeah,
tapes.
I remember cassette
I,
tapes
I,
and that. Yeah,
I used to visualize like a box of cassette tapes and like
Mhm.
basically choose
oh, them.
what my dreams would be about, and like it would. But I used to lucid dream, and lucid dream is being able to know that you're in a dream and being able to
Yeah,
manipulate the dream when you're inside it.
yeah,
So I used to be able to do dumb stuff like fly, because I'd go, oh, I wonder what flying's like, and just start doing it and go different
Uh,
places and actually be able to remember it when I woke up. But also, like actually anything that came at me in the dream that I couldn't control, I'd be able to respond to it in a way that isn't fear based, because I can go, oh, I want to turn into, I don't know, an elephant or whatever, and like you can adapt and change it. And
Gee, I hear
that was
you,
like,
and I believe every word you're saying, mate. I just
and
want to point out
that
and
was,
say that.
yeah, no, it was very interesting to be honest, when I got a bit older and I started smoking and stuff, like the dreams very much changed. And then I went through a stage where I wasn't doing it, and the lucid dreaming came back a bit, but it was a lot harder to maintain as an adult. When I was a kid, this was, I don't know, anywhere from like 8 till like 11, 12, that I went through a stage of very much. And I remember it got to a stage where it was hard to determine if I was dreaming or not, because like me being able to remember it to the point of, if I go to sleep, like when you're sleeping and you can lucid dream, how dreams are so muddled up, and sometimes you wake up and you're like, oh, that was crazy. It's like when you're lucid dreaming, it feels like you actually live in that time. You're actually having that amount of time. So what I used to do, I remember, is like pinch my hand, and I could, like right now, I can feel like the actual pressure of pinching myself. But in a dream, I wouldn't, like, you would say like I don't know, get a hammer and smack your hand or whatever, and you wouldn't be able to feel the pain. So I used to like have these little like well, as I said, pinching myself. I used to do stuff like that to be able to determine if it's real or not. But I did speak to I know with Mark one time and just on live streams before that. I saw these like transparent, but also these like they were glowing like light beams, and I can't really because it's been so long and stuff. I can't determine really if I was dreaming or not when I saw them. But yeah, it's like they gave me this message, but they didn't actually speak and they didn't actually use words. But it's like they gave me information and stuff, which is probably pretty cryptic or whatever. Like pretty, not really telling people much. But yeah, it's like I had a
No,
conversation. It's like I had a conversation without words, but I kind of like knew what the purpose was. Like they weren't like negative or evil or whatever. They were like basically the opposite of what you would probably call a demon or whatever. They weren't like that. It was just very calming.
What?
Like the interaction wasn't negative or didn't cause me stress or
You say
like
an
pla
interesting thing. If you don't, sorry to interrupt you, but like, what would make you think you have a demon in your presence?
Well, I'd just say probably the opposite of that is it would make me feel uncomfortable. Would make me feel like scared, fear based. It would be like a negative exchange, even if there weren't words, like I mentioned, if there weren't, a physical touch or a verbal communication of such, it would still be a negative experience. Like I'd come away from that and be like, that was fucking shit. Like, like
Mm,
I, I feel terrible. Like I never want that to happen again. But it's all of that is the opposite of what I felt.
yeah.
No worries, Mark. So it's I guess the best I could probably example I could probably give is like that was what we'd probably call angels or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just like a how when you see a shadow and obviously it's like well for us humans a shadow and it's the shape of a human. Like you see the heads, the body, the torso, the arms and legs and stuff. It was like that, but it was just like light. It was like just like I've got lights here and see how it kind of glows, and this is the actual physical light. You can't really see it that well from there, but if I
Jesus,
dim it a
it's
bit,
Jesus.
if I dim it a bit, it's kind of that's the physical. But then you got like the actual light pulsating from the actual solid object. It was kind of like that. So the solid object was the shape of a person, but then it still had this like light that was glowing from it. And the color it was actually more of this sort of color. So I have different colors. That's like a cool light. That's a very warm, and it's like in between where it's not too warm, not too cold. Like it had a slight yellow tinge to it.
Oi, Jay.
But yeah, well, what?
Um, can I tell you a story?
Yeah, go for
All right, so I'll give you two stories. One is where I genuinely think something paranormal was fucking happening. Anyway, a place I used to live in, I was just chilling out in my room. I mean, I was asleep.
it.
I was asleep. It is weird to say I'm chilling out. But yes, I was aware of myself. Um, I was having this dream where something was coming towards my room, and it would flash back to looking at me in my bed, and then it would go back to whatever the fuck it was coming towards my room. It was like a cheap, shitty horror movie, but like literally, this was happening, and it kept happening until it was right in front of my door, and I woke up, and my bedroom door opened just a bit. It opened, And yeah, I was actually awake a little bit before that happened. I was actually looking at my door because I felt like something was coming near my room, and it opened. My door opened.
And
I
what,
can't remember. I can't remember the next story. It's just fucking lost my mind. But yeah, some weird shit has happened to me in life. This comes to mind. There was a time I was driving with my girlfriend to the coast. We were just like normal fucking driving my car going to the coast, and I had this weird feeling to slow down. I had this like inner urge, slow the fuck down, slow down. I did, and I remember her looking at me, saying like, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing?" Because I was going from like we're in an 80 zone to like 30, and this car came like fucking booming over this hill. This was like a rise, and if I'd kept going the speed I was going, it would have been a head-on collision. And it just fucking flew past us. It was blasting by like there was a car speeding, but I had this inner voice telling me what to do, and I listened to it. My dad's told me a story before, very similar, where something saved his life because he listened to it. There's been a few times in my life I've had moments where I've listened to internal fucking thoughts, and I'm alive because of it. I
my,
I don't know what
what
to
you,
explain. I don't know what I literally do not know how to sum that up. But I've had moments in my life where it's like I've felt to do something. Like I said, where you're in an 80, 100 zone. You should be going the speed limit, but I slow down like crazy, and it saved my life. I've had other moments where shit's happened like that. I don't know what to explain to
well,
that. Like, how do you make sense of that? Is that
my,
fucking angels? What is that?
what I reckon that is what they call your higher self. So it's like like it's the spiritual side of you. You know how like we're basically avatars. We're just a meat suit. It's your higher self trying to talk to you. So if you look into your higher self, it's kind of like I guess your it's like your soul is separated from your brain, and your brain is controlling you and the way all the stuff that's in your head. But then sometimes like the soul or the higher self steps in to
Yeah.
help you. So
I,
if you look into a higher self, you might find some answers. It's like like it's basically intuition. Your it's your intuition as well, like your gut feeling. There's like a lot of ways. There's less spiritual ways of explaining it, or there's like more spiritual ways of explaining it. But yeah, the
there doesn't need to be more
non-spiritual
spiritual
way
ways.
would
I think you summed it up pretty good, man.
yeah.
When
Well,
you said it feels like your
you're
soul is different from your body, that that feels right.
yeah. So like your brain. If you was with your girlfriend or different, like there's a lot of outside stuff happening to you. Like if you're driving as well, you're distracted by driving, what you're doing with your hands, what you're doing around you, the person next to you, all of that stuff. So you're very much distracted, or you're preoccupied, and your brain is obviously working overtime by taking all of that information in and doing what
Yeah.
the brain does, telling your body how to move and all that. But then,
Gee,
like your higher self or your spiritual self is like slow down, or And it could be, when I've heard other people talk about this sort of stuff, it is very simple stuff. Like they say, like an inner voice, like you can't really hear the voice, but something tells you, you get this information very quickly, like slow down, or don't do that, or don't go there, don't go in there, whatever it may be. And then you do what you say, as you mentioned, like as weird as it is to other people, like, why are you doing this? And then all of a sudden the light bulb goes off, like click, and it goes off, and then you realize why you did why you followed that information, why you why you was told that. Because yeah, as you said, all of a sudden you see a car or the situation will happen, and you go, oh fuck, if I didn't listen to myself or that inner voice, then it would have been like, game over.
Have you ever had a moment like that in your life, Jay, where like something weird, like you listen to your inner yourself and avoid something happening?
Well, I have, but also the opposites happened when I've had like an intuition of, like I've got into a couple of crashes before, not me causing them, but other people. And I just got that really bad feeling of something's bad is going to happen. And then all of a sudden it does. And sometimes you can't really control the situation, like say if you're not driving or whatever, you can't really control that situation. You can't stop it from happening, but you still get that. I believe as well, another word is precognition
Mm.
for it. I'm trying to, because when I said intuition, I'm pretty sure precognition is another way of explaining it. Because I used to look into a lot of this stuff and had books and stuff that I used to read of it.
I've never
Yeah,
heard of that before, but it sounds interesting.
so precognition is foreknowledge of an event, especially as a
Yeah.
form of extrasensory perception.
Ecosystem perception, yeah. ESP, yeah.
Can I ask a question of Mark? Like, can I?
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
you're
he gave.
ask whatever you want.
Mark,
Yeah.
what experience, what happened? It can be the most lamest shit ever. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
what happened that made you genuinely believe there's something going on, aliens are a thing?
It's the sighting I had. I had a group sighting. This is about 30 years ago. The short version is we were out four-wheel driving and camping, and there was a group of us. We were, I think it was winter time, around this time of the year. Beautiful clear night, cool obviously where we were. Had a fire going, all that sort of stuff, and there was a range of us there, different ages. And this particular night, it was a full moon. And as the moon rose up, we could see this object, what we perceived as following the moon. I remember it as one object. However, my friend remembers it as several objects. Now, the equipment we had at the time was a large video camera that went on your shoulder, which took a VHS tape. We had some rabbit ears, some World War II rabbit ears. That's the stuff where the guys, when they were in the trench, they could look through them and look up over the top.
Yeah.
And I just forget what else we had. Standard sort of cameras at the time.
Quick question. Where were you in Australia?
We're just west of Brisbane, around Ipswich area.
Okay.
I know where Ipswich is, yeah.
Yeah.
I used to live in Queensland.
And excuse me. So
What time of day? What time of day?
it was night,
Roughly.
evening, night time, evening. So it wasn't like godly late or early in the morning or anything like that. This was sort of 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, that sort of area. So getting back to And as the moon rose, as full moon rose, we could see this object following the moon as it went up. And of course, the first prosaic explanations, we thought it was a helicopter. And of course, knowing hindsight's a wonderful thing, and there's no way that we could have seen a helicopter from that distance following the moon up. It had to be much larger than that. So it was out of our atmosphere. It was in space, that's for sure. No doubt about it.
Way up there, no, is it? Like,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And this event, this went on for a long time, like a long time. It went on for that long. Myself and others probably got bored of it. Yeah, that's it, Stylesy. Yeah.
Stylesy.
And I wasn't keeping track of time or anything like that. But eventually it got, no, Peter, no, it wasn't Venus. It got to the stage that there's no way that 30 years ago that we would have had something like this. And the other thing that topped it off, because one of the friends I was with, now one lives not far away from me, I haven't talked to him about it. He was a kid when this happened. He was with us there as a kid. So he was 12, 13 years old, something like that. I was in my 20s. My other friend, he spent more time watching it, and he said there was like a number of them, sort of 4 of them, I think. And then eventually they must have, I'm pretty sure they combined as one, and we could determine that they were changing colours, multicolours. And now what he described is eventually when this thing went, it went like that. It took off with a flash.
Yeah.
And that's one of the 5 observables that they've been talking about. Instant acceleration, right angle, a thing travelling along at high speeds, doing right angle turns. And there's a number of them. If you look at if you do just a Google search on which I'll do now, 5 observables of UFOs or UAPs, it lists, what have we got, 5?
I know what you saw, Mark.
Yeah.
Drag races in space.
I know where your suit is, Stylesy.
Oh, guys, quick question.
Yeah,
Nobody heard anything I did just then, right?
No, mate.
Oh, fantastic. I don't want it to come across like I'm fucking with you guys.
No.
But anyway, yes. This is a fantastic conversation. We should keep this going.
Yep. So the 5 observables is, hello? Yep. Sudden and instantaneous acceleration, anti-gravity lift, or VTOL. What else is there? Oh, go away. Hypersonic velocities without any signatures. Our modern day aircraft, if they go into hypersonic or anything like that, they break the sound barrier, but these craft, as we call them, when they do stuff like that, there's no traces of, no vapor trails, no sonic booms, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Low observability or cloaking, and transmedium travel. Now, transmedium travel, that's an interesting one. So therefore, it can go from outer space into our atmosphere and straight into water without losing velocity. And we got some pretty good stuff, I must admit, but I don't think we can do that sort of stuff.
There's a big fucking philosophy that apparently the alien ships are already among us, but they're just hanging out underwater.
Yep. Yeah, there is. Who's doing that? Richard Dolan. He's a UFO researcher.
Stephen Charinator.
Hey, Charinator. Richard Dolan is doing a good book on USOs. Preston Dennett, he's an American researcher. I think he's touched on UFOs. He's got a good YouTube channel. Have a look at his stuff. He's specially done. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I have a question, or more so a statement in a way. Do you guys think that this technology you can actually put your consciousness into it? Because when I've interacted with stuff, it very much feels like the actual vehicle itself has some sort of consciousness to itself, because it feels like they have personality, and also it feels like they're they're actually interacting with what's going on, what they're seeing themselves, instead of like some of them definitely have like these personalities, or as I say, when I've seen stuff, it seems like they kind of will, like if you try to get its attention, it will try to like hide itself, which could be the person involved with it, but like
Yeah.
say if someone's interacting with it, it almost feels like it's their actual personality or consciousness in the machine in a way.
It depends what they're doing, yeah.
Yes,
What is that's the question
the
to me.
machine. I've heard contactees, experiences, whatever they want to call themselves, they keep changing it all the time, and say that the UFO or the craft they're on is alive.
Yeah. So therefore, when we're talking about technology and stuff, we could have access to that. Obviously, we wouldn't know about it, but
Yeah, it does
it
need
is
known,
very,
yeah.
very, very different than like some bolts and wires.
Depends where
So
they build it from too.
I remember when I saw the flying saucers, one of them that I saw was kind of like very kind of cheeky almost in nature, the way it was moving and stuff. It was kind of like trying to definitely get your attention, and then some of them are obviously, and that would probably depend on the person operating it as well, or person. But
Was it
they,
right angle
you know,
triangle? Was it
these were
right angle triangle
saucers.
you saw?
These were
Oh,
saucers,
round
like
shape, was it?
obviously the
Oh,
flying
I know what you
saucers.
mean.
Obviously, they say it's like a saucer rotating is how they
Yeah,
obviously
no.
got the name. But
Because
also
I
they
thought was
move
it,
quite weirdly.
yeah.
They move more diagonally. Like if you drop a feather or a leaf, you know how they like move from side to side. Is more they can go forward and stuff, but they kind of like pivot from side to side. But the reason I mentioned that is, yeah, I noticed when I was younger that one of them was very much kind of like not taking the piss, but kind of like definitely trying to get our attention and stuff, and just was. And then when I was talking, the one I spoke about that I saw in Adelaide, Australia, that one, as I said, when we flicked the lights and stuff, like I got the driver to flash the lights like on and off. It very much like went behind trees, behind some cover quite quickly. So it kind of gives me the impression that either like Mark said, the actual ship is alive or has some sort of consciousness itself. Could be AI or something like that. You know, who knows? But or it could be the actual person is like integrated in the technology where it will react a lot quicker than stuff we're used to. I just thought I'd mention that is because that has crossed my mind before.
A good. There it is. I'll put a link in the chat. The reason why I recommend this gentleman, Preston Dennett, he's got a fantastic YouTube channel. He puts a video out every week. Lately, or for pretty consistently now, he's talked about humanoids, the different types of humanoids that have been reported. And that's not just recently, that's like, going back as early as, I think, the 1800s or something, or the 1880s. all over the place. He's also a prolific author of the UFO subject. He's written something like 30 books on the subject. You can find them on Google. He does. So he's got his YouTube channel. Each week, I think almost twice a week now, he does his own podcast called The Light Gate with his partner Dolly Safran. She states that she's a fully conscious contactee, and she talks a lot about this sort of stuff. There's another lady here in Australia. Sorry.
They're all into that astral projection as well.
Yes.
Which is very interesting.
Yep. There's another lady up at Agnes Water, which is north of just the other side of Bundaberg, called what's her name? She's very famous for in terms of the UFO community. She's appeared on podcasts and things like that. I just had a name. Yeah, my mind's a blank. But she helps a lot of people who have had contact with aliens and things like that. She has an interesting story. There's another lady down in Sydney or Newcastle. Australian lady. She's on the United Paranormal Network, UPN.
Karen Swain.
Sorry?
Karen Swain.
Which one?
Karen Swain.
I'm pretty sure the Australian woman was called Karen Swain.
Is that the one in Sydney or Newcastle?
I'm just going through his live streams now, and she looks familiar as one of the Australian ladies.
Yeah, there's a couple here. They're just ones I've seen in interviews with.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole the United Paranormal Network. You can probably find that on Spreaker or just type in United Paranormal Network. You'll find probably find all their links to their podcasts or live radio or something like that. It's there's definitely, if you want to go down a particular subject, to try and help answer some questions, Pete, which I think we're happy to, answer whatever we can, but there's other people out there that might have some more definitive answers for what you're looking for.
I've got a very, very random question. If that's okay.
Yeah, fire away.
This is really weird.
You're in the right place.
Do you think the reason it really started around the 80s? We started getting gory, nasty movies with violence because we're trying to be conditioned to something. I mean, you look.
Well, that's very.
Yeah.
That's very
interesting. It's very interesting, but are you able to elaborate a little bit more?
Maybe.
Well,
What side you're looking at from?
Well, all I mean is like, are we supposed to be seeing stupid shit because maybe we should be okay with something?
Are you talking like referring to like gore and stuff, like violent as in violent to the point of like body mutilation and
yeah. Look, a lot of people think it's an okay movie, but you look at a movie like Terrifier, it's pretty fucked up.
what comes to mind for me is, you know, how obviously war's pushed and shoved down our throats is probably to like make that seem a little bit more normal. You know how like on news networks and stuff these days they're starting to actually show like, you know, wars in Syria or whatever, and they'll
Yeah.
actually show bombs and children being hurt and all of that. It's probably to like, you know, like make us more used to that
Maybe.
That's what I mean.
where
That's
we're
what I
not
mean. Like, are we
Yeah.
being conditioned to be
like
desensitized?
Oh,
to
yeah,
think that's
definitely.
to think that's normal,
Maybe.
because, you know, if you didn't have so much violent and decapitation and stuff in films, then if you saw that happen in real life, you wouldn't really stand for it. You would be like, this isn't normal. This isn't on. Like, this shouldn't be happening. But if you're bloody seeing, you know, latest Arnold Schwarzenegger film, and then all of a sudden you see war happening in real life, and they're kind of jamming it down our throats, it's like you're not going to really react as shocked about it because you've just seen it all in a film.
And taking into account how nasty we are as a human species, do you think maybe that's why fucking aliens don't want a bar of us? Because we are pretty
Well,
fucking feral.
Well, that, or also plot twist. What if the aliens are the ones that are forcing us or manipulating us to do that? What
What,
if
to
what
fucking
if
fuck
what if
each other up?
what,
Mm.
well,
Yeah, this is
what
it.
if
Yeah, right.
humans? You know, what if we're the peaceful race,
Yeah.
and we've been forced, manipulated, you know, poked and prodded, maybe even
Yeah,
anal probed,
prod.
you know.
Yeah.
But you know, like, what if we've been pushed and you know,
Conditioned.
like what you're saying about us being conditioned to through media, Hollywood and stuff. What if through, you know, history we've been manipulated to be what we're like now
No, you
by
might not be
other?
wrong because you look at history, there's only like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people who really stand out as people who've influenced what's happened. I mean, look at fucking Hitler. He was somebody that stood out in his generation of time. He was
What
trying to
if
do his best try
That's
by
Stalin.
Germany,
That as
but
well.
my God, that went bad.
what
And
always
So
gets me about
Stalin.
Hitler though is everyone blames the one guy, where one guy can't do all of that.
I know.
Like, I know you kind of need a face to an organization, or, you know, whatever you want to say, but
That's
I
Stalin.
guess even when it comes to presidents and stuff, like people like, oh, do you like this guy or do you like this guy? Or it's like they're both, at the end of the day, they're both fucking idiots, but people will fight over it and fight over a face where really there's a huge, excuse me, there's a huge organization, and, you know, there's lots of people that are running like these individuals, you know, like that people are very much, and that's sort of tying into what I'm saying about, you know, maybe we've been pushed and forced to become this type of human where we're violent and greedy and all this stuff. Because when you're born, you don't. Yeah, obviously you're adolescent, you're a kid, all that stuff, but you have to be conditioned or pushed to become what we are now. Like
Poetry
there's
theory.
a lot of there's a lot of, you know, in between to become greedy and, you know, interested in violent or being, you know, a bit terrible person. But then also, I was going to
Yes.
say, you look back in history, there's always been these deities or these entities that have always been there. You know, you can look into Anunnaki, and I've mentioned before that archons are a negative energy based spiritual sort of being that isn't necessarily physical but can manipulate humans. So there's
so
archons.
I'm new to this. What's an archon?
So I believe it's the Gnostic term of this deity, and it's archon. Then, if you go down into more Islamic religions, it's jinn, is what they call it, which is
Jinn,
like
yeah.
depicted in pop
Yeah, the
culture and
gin,
stuff
yeah.
as genies.
Because the
And then
Islamic
if you
devil, yeah.
get into more like the Christianic, Catholic sort of stuff, it's demons. But and they say obviously like rituals and stuff like that can like you can provoke and bring these deities either into you or into existence, or like all that stuff. So, and if you want to get into really deep, what I was saying about how you said humans are being desensitized, and maybe it's these
Sort of.
deities that
It's a
are
generational thing.
maybe it's these deities over all these years that have been manipulating us to, like, because they feed off negative energy. That's kind of like their life. That's their life's source of life, or
Yeah.
their life force.
Yeah.
And it, like humans, really, if you feel positive, like, yeah, there's so much I guess I'm trying to say, but they feed off negative energy, so they need us to, like, like you were saying about, they need us to see all of this stuff as normal, because then it's just a part of us. But they're feeding off war, and they're feeding off all this poverty and people dying and just everyone not having a very good time. And I don't feel like that's what really humans are. Like, as I said, I feel like there's more going on than we realize, because it's not normal to be, it's not normal for us to see. And then race comes into it, like, oh, you're different than me, and just therefore it's like, it should have been normal to kill kids and to, like, rape or hurt women or kill them, and like happens in war, all the stuff that is happening all the time. It's not what humans are about, really, and there's a lot more going on than we're told, really.
I'm pretty sure when fucking war happens, being polite and doing the right thing goes right at the goddamn door.
Mm-hmm.
Humans become the worst of the fucking worst that we're capable of. And we're allowed to actually be as shitty as we can be because of war.
And I'm not necessarily blaming people, because I'm sure when push comes to shove, that in those situations, you would do stuff outside your character, or
But that's what I mean. I mean, like, we are fucking horrible. We have done so many horrible, disgusting things to each other. I'm pretty sure aliens might look at us and think, I don't want to fucking borrow this shit. Maybe
How would
they
you know?
looked at us and they thought, fuck, these guys are bad.
Speaking of aliens,
And
we've got an alien right here.
No.
Cody,
How,
What's up, guys?
You've been to the
Hello.
spaceport again, Cody. You got some more stocked up on some more Pepsi.
Yeah, I've got some more Pepsi this week, so I'm all stocked up. Yep.
the Pep Meister. The Pep Meister is here.
Hell yes.
How you going, Cody?
How are you doing, mate?
Oh yeah, I'm doing.
How did Cody?
Yeah, I'm doing better. Crows won tonight, so I'm pretty happy about that.
a nice one, man. There's
Hell yes.
Peter, actually, not Pete on stream with us, but Peter actually said a very good quote here: "For evil to take hold, good men need just look away."
Pretty
And
much.
that I feel like is a huge problem we have. It's like, and we've talked about it quite in depth now, that whole, what that saying means. Well, there's too many of us that will just not, like, we'll just be distracted in many ways.
You could
Again,
apply that to so many things.
Yeah, like, you can't blame people as well, because people have bills to pay, lives to live, and stuff. But also that
I tell you,
that stuff is there to distract us as well, to make it hard for us to bloody. What is money at the end of the day? Like numbers or paper, or
if
They interpret it as.
if you want to go down this rabbit hole, I would seriously suggest you go watch the latest episode of the Y-Files. He's titled it "The Dark Side of DARPA," which is the defence research thing in America. Just go watch that video. It'll make your head spin.
Hey, Mark, can I ask you a question, please?
Yeah, mate, go for it.
Do you think, and back this up if you do, Do you think aliens are among us?
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
totally.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Depends
Sure
what
do.
you need to look out for.
Also,
I don't have any first-hand experience, but I base that on what I've seen. You can go back through not ancient texts, but people describe having interactions with the tall blonde Nordics. Who else? And there's people.
what are Aboriginals called? Because is it Star People with Native Americans? What they call it, or
The Aboriginals
they
are
have
very
like
in tune with
Yeah,
crazy shit.
I think Sky people are called. Sorry, I think Australian Aborigines call them Sky people or Sky gods, one of the two. A lot of Indigenous cultures do have. You can see the paintings on the walls, of the caves and various artwork of.
It was like I was mentioning before. If you take away all electronics, technology, there's no lights like street lights and all that stuff. They're just dealing with nature in its pure, form. So of course they're going to be able to notice stuff in the sky or stuff coming into orbit or whatever. Star people here. Yeah.
We have been. You're right, Pete. We have been desensitised a lot. We're desensitised because we've got all these electronic devices around us beaming, invisible signals into us, and Indigenous people or people who live off the land are more in tune with what the land is doing because, and it's
Because you kind of lose that vibrational energy sort of
that's it.
with
Yep.
actual nature.
Yes.
And they do say like Wi-Fi kills those electrical frequencies and stuff, and the natural ones.
I mean, we
Well, have a
should
look
have
at what
more.
Brad
We
said.
should.
Brad's running out.
You go, Roger.
Yes, well, Brad's running out said Inonaki is the old stories of star people. Sumerian texts speak of a galactic war.
Have you heard of Anunnaki, Pete?
No. All I was going to say is but like we should have a lot more respect for that culture. I mean, it's crazy to think about it, but like Aboriginal culture, if you really look into it, and it doesn't require much depth to research, they are fucking older than Roman history. So, like when you had Rome, Aboriginals existed.
Yeah.
They have been a thing for the longest goddamn time. So, like, we need to listen to whatever they have to say. I'm not talking about political correctness here because I don't want to fucking deal with that. But I genuinely believe Aboriginals have more knowledge of the land and the country and the world than most people ever.
Yeah, not just Aboriginals, but Indigenous cultures from around the world. When you look into their backgrounds, a lot of it is very similar. You know, it really is amazing when you sit down and start watching some of this. Unfortunately, a lot of us just watch the edited version that we might get on a TV presentation, but when you sit down and listen to people who know this stuff or talk to the Indigenous people themselves about their history and what their ancestors have told them and so on and so forth, it really is amazing. And that goes to lost technologies. We've lost a lot of stuff. Not just not just our sense of nature or sense of being. There has been a lot of stuff that we've lost over the years, over the generations even.
But this came into my head a few times, so I'll put it out there right now. Has anyone had any experience or even heard about the Galactic Federation of Light?
Well, I've heard about the Galactic Federation because what's his name?
Mars.
Who is it? Who is it? Hang on, trying to think. It's guy. There's a guy, an Iranian guy or something, came out and said something about the Galactic Federation. And when he said this guy, like, he's right up there, real famous. They all sort of, oh, he's getting old and, you know, he's getting a bit senile and all that sort of stuff. They just wrote it off like as quick as anything. But yeah, that's where I've heard of it.
Well, kind of like what Pete was saying before. It's meant to be different. You know, like basically light workers. Palladians is another name for a different, a light-based. You know, like positive beings and. But it's I guess it's like
Yes,
how we have
Greys,
different.
Pleiadians, Goblins.
Yeah, like the Nordics, like Mark
Yeah,
mentioned,
there's the
and
Nordic. Yeah, that's right. The Nordics. That's what I think of. The
you know, like
Nordics.
the reptoids and stuff. But
No,
basically, I
there's the
guess
reptilians in the Nordics are two different things. The
I know they
Nordics are
are.
the tall, blonde hair
Yeah,
aliens, and the reptilians are the different species altogether.
Seriously,
I didn't
I'm
know
so
that.
fucking drunk right now. All I can hear is G is trying to describe white people. White people are this fucking. They do this. Look, I'm not trying to take the piss. I'm really fucking invested in everything we're talking about.
Oh no, that's
What
fine. I have to throw in a joke or two when I say stuff. But
what
But yeah, just to quickly to explain, finish what I was saying is that you can imagine all of the governments and they're all different races. You know, on this planet, the Galactic Federation of Light is like interspecies or different species, and including humans that are all there's like the laws and stuff that you have to all abide by, even though you have somewhat control of your own planets and you know, like we can, but yeah, you have to abide by these different rules. So it's kind of like, I guess, a government, but on a bigger scale, where it's not just this planet.
Peter, where do you normally
Rome isn't that old.
Sorry, what were you saying, Mark?
I was just wondering, what do you normally watch? What's your sort of source of information usually?
Nothing special, mate. I mean, like, I was on YouTube recently, and I was watching Stephen Greer talking, and I posted that to G. I was like, "Hey, check this out. This is pretty good." Not much, man. I mean, look, I occasionally, most of YouTube is bullshit, but every now and then I'll see something interesting.
Yeah, well,
And
that's why I say go and look at Preston Dennett's YouTube page. Watch his stuff. He's the real deal.
Preston Dennett.
Yeah.
Can you message me directly? I'm in the same Discord as you, mate.
Yeah. For whatever reason, I can't see you coming up on my phone.
I can share. I'll share his latest video, which was 11 hours ago. I'll share it in the Discord for you, Pete.
Yeah.
Cheers, Taz. I mean, sorry, G.
So
I called you Taz.
Sorry, I haven't been on Discord as late.
Love it.
Oh,
I've
that's
just
all
been
right.
busy and I haven't been on Discord as late. Gee, that's all.
Pretty much Cody's the only one that's carrying that Discord on his back for a while. But yeah, we can use it a bit more. There is what it's there for, you know. But
Yeah.
Thanks, Jay.
Peter, for whatever reason, I think it's on my other computer upstairs, but I'm on my phone. So I'm just going to add you on Discord on my phone, okay?
Yeah, much appreciated, mate. Thank you.
Oh,
I feel like, man, we're all bloody people who are trying to figure out what's going on. We only have a limited time on this planet, and we're doing the best we can to just get by, make a good thing for ourselves in life, but also figure out what the hell's going on. There's got to be something more. There's no way. There's no fucking way that, like, we're the only intelligent life when you think about space. It's just insane. You're a fucking idiot if you basically think we're the only thing. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Unfortunately, most people can't get out of their little box that they live in. That you know, there's other things. You know, if you want to break it down, you know, we're on planet Earth. In our, Roger said it before. You know, we've got 9 planets in our solar system or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then if you look, you know, we're in a galaxy, and then there's other galaxies outside of ours, and so
Yes.
instantaneously you just go, okay, right. If we're in this galaxy, what's in the other galaxies? You know, it's just
No, I
Another
hear you. I hear you.
another person that you would really enjoy, Pete, is Brad Strung Out here in our live chat. He
Who? Brad.
Brad, he's got a YouTube channel called Brad Strung Out, but he has came up on live stream a couple of times. He very much sort of I guess how you were saying we're all trying to figure it out. He has a lot of decent information. Yeah, he takes the piss like I do and everyone does, but he has some really good ideas and information as well. He was the one, I believe, he was the one who said about Anunnaki earlier. The Anunnaki are Sumerians, which are the oldest human race that has been documented. You know, there might have been older ones that
Sumerians.
possibly weren't documented, but they had their own language and they had these tablets where they put a lot of information on. And the Sumerians, and they call them the Sumerian tablets, which they have deciphered some. I don't believe they deciphered all of the words or letters and stuff, but they talk about Anunnaki, which was a race of different these deities that we humans looked at as basically gods because they were meant to have taken DNA and made humans what they are now through you know, like changing our DNA and adding, I believe they added some of theirs to it, and they yeah, they basically used us to mine gold because their planet Nibiru is was dying from resources, and they basically needed to like put in the atmosphere the gold to save their atmosphere from dying. But then they basically they went through that much to obviously save their race and planet that they altered humans to what we are now, or closer to what we are now, and they used us basically as slaves to get the gold from our planet, and obviously, like, just, you know, hand it over to them. Really, I guess.
Boy,
That's,
Jay,
yeah.
if you were to be stuck on an alien planet, you can only have one type of food. Would you rather have McDonald's or KFC?
Oh,
Probably KFC because it's a little bit more healthier with the potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, at least with
Chelsea,
KFC, you have the potato and you have the chips. If you go to Macca's, you just have the chips. You know, I
I hope you know.
potatoes
I
more.
really am not taking the piss. I genuinely am interested in everything you guys is talking about. I'm just, I'm just trying to. Yeah, I'm not taking the piss out of you. Please don't think that.
yeah.
Oh,
So-
that's all right, man. As I said, sometimes we throw out a
Like pushing me or Cody.
curveball.
That's exactly it.
where is it?
You have to change it up a
I
bit.
just posted in Discord the channel I like to watch, the Y-Files. Go watch. That's their I posted their latest episode. That's going to spin your head. It'll
The
make your
White
head spin.
Files.
The Y-Files. Yeah. Really, it's a really good channel. Really good channel.
Mrs. Austin just rant already gave me a PayPal donation. Very much appreciated. I got this at 10:17.
Oh, nice.
It's 10:26 now. So thank you very much, Mrs. Austin. You're a legend.
Every time you say
Hell
Mrs.
yeah.
Austin, isn't that like Rolfus's wife?
No.
No, her name's Austin. Her name's Austin, but she prefers to be called Mrs. Austin because some people apparently confuse Austin with being a male name. So her name's Austin, but it's just rant. It's just rant already. She has a channel, just rant already is what she goes by.
I actually
But
thought it
obviously-
was fucking Rolfus's wife.
Nah.
Oh no, I'm pretty sure Rolfus's wife is attracted to me though. Nah.
Oh, really? Wow.
Could be.
Nah,
Could be
I'm
attracted
falling
to
around.
me.
But
She used to talk to me too.
Yeah, I'll go, Roger. You should have chopped in there, mate. You would have been a better bloke partner.
Oh, for sure.
Bloke.
Maybe.
Hey guys, I love you all. I love you all, but please
Nah.
let's not talk shit about Taz, Daz, and Rolfus. They're good
Fuck yeah.
guys. We all have our fucking differences, but they don't. Come on. Let's move on.
If you come here, you'll have to expect me to talk shit about them. But
You can
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
your shit. You can talk
Yeah.
your shit. I just, I don't like it.
well, yeah, if you come over to Hypersapien TV, you've got to expect a bit of bullshit.
True.
And hey, also you have to remember you were the one who brought them up as well.
Well, look, I just like those two. They're good blokes, as you guys are. Okay. I am the one that walks between. You guys are all good blokes. You're all good blokes. You just don't like each other, but you're good. You literally are. You're all good blokes. Everyone's
We
been
are, they're
quiet.
not.
Speaking of Mrs. Rolfus, we have a special guest here.
Oh, fuck. Hey.
I was awesome.
Why did you
Hey,
love
Miss
me like,
Austin.
no, I'm good. I'm not that Mrs. I promise.
Shut up, babe.
Oh, yeah, just to point it out, did call me Tazdaz once, and you did say, "Is that Mr. Rolfus?" So none of us mentioned those twats, but yeah, moving on.
The camera's up here. I'm not looking. I'm looking at the big TV. So I apologize.
Yeah.
I'll turn the camera off so you don't have to stare at me not looking.
Oh,
Aw.
Hey, she sounds American.
Mark's also looking into different.
No,
different
she's being
places.
Canadian. Of course she's mixed.
Earlier on, we had Mark looking one way, we had him looking another way, and it's all good. Look where you want.
Oi, Mark, your area where you're filming it looks massive, mate.
Yep. Sure is.
Is that like a huge ass shed?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Dude, looks awesome as shit, man.
It's
Fuck yeah.
it's a 9x12 shed. We've only recently had it built, so my wife and I are investing in ourselves for the future. This shed, and we're also rebuilding a shed for her, or come sort of laundry bathroom sort of thing.
Dude, it's
Just a bit of
awesome, man. Massive. It looks cool as hell.
So
Yeah.
Mark,
Information. Mark says he's building a steamroller, but I'm pretty sure he's building a bloody UFO in there. I'm on.
So
Got enough space for it.
what you can't see over to my left is parts of the steamroller. I've got a forklift, and we've got our 2 cars in here, plus what's behind me, lathe and milling machine, bench grinder, and that's down there. That's on the floor there. That's other parts of the steamroller. So yeah.
Just to answer Charinator, I haven't watched it all. I've only watched a couple of minutes. I've been super busy today. I've been moving around my background again. If you
One of the
if you
people
look
asked
very
question me.
closely, I've got
What are you showing us? What are you showing us, Jake?
New angle.
I've got my pin-up orc in the background that I did mention on one of Mark's
You
slides.
pin up all.
Yeah, you've got to have a pin-up orc.
Oh,
Orc with a nice curvy orc back there.
okay.
I mean, I'm sorry. Hi,
Why not?
Steve. Hi, Carinator. He said hi to me.
One of the people asked question me or Cody.
There
Or
you
you
go.
guys just got
Pin-up
to talk to
orc.
Mark on G or not?
Oh, sorry. What was that? What was that lady just saying? We keep talking over her.
I was saying hi to Charinator. He said hi. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
But he wants
Mark-
people to ask
Fantastic you
him
being here.
questions.
Hey, this
Mark has
fella.
only just solidified my dream of buying a shed the size that he's living in to make my house, or he's in now, to make it my house. So it's a perfect
Oh,
size
nice.
to be able to break that down into a tiny home. Hi, Paul.
Paul.
So that's the other view of the shed. I've just turned one of the cameras around, so I've got a few cameras here.
Jesus Christ, that looks like shit. Is that you fucking showing us? What are you showing us?
The other side of the shed, what you
Yeah.
can't see, that's over on my left-hand side.
It looks like shit, mate.
Looks like
Oh.
shit.
Okay,
Easy.
maybe my fucking phone is frozen, but like that, what I'm looking at right now on my phone is not impressive.
Right, fair enough.
But Mike, I believe that you would, your shed's awesome. You show something good. I think it's my phone's fault, not yours.
Yeah, fair enough. You should be able to see two vehicles and a bit more of the forklift.
I don't see fucking anything.
Yeah, righto.
Yeah.
He's probably got the camera pointed at him.
Is it just
Probably.
me? Am I the only one with the phone issues?
Well, we're all
our
on computers.
I don't want
Yeah.
Mike thinking it's fucking just me that's talking shit.
Yeah, so because I'm on the laptop, I can bring
Yeah.
up his screen as one, or can put it away. So
Well, come on.
yeah.
Gee, you can see what I'm saying clearly, right?
You probably can see this. Which looks like, I won't even get into. But yeah,
Okay.
of course, Spaceman Mark with a name like Mark Shed Talk, he needs to have a shed to talk about. And he has a pretty
Yeah.
bloody good shed.
Excellent shed.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I just got to pay for the bastard now, so.
Yeah, that's it. And not to blow too much smoke, but
No, it's a fucking awesome looking shed, mate.
Mark's channel has definitely grown since I've known him, and he's doing a great job over
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Thank you very much, G, for that. You guys have been very supportive of me, and I wouldn't be where I am without your support. I think I'm up to something like 545 or something like that on subscribers. I'm surprised how much it's grown by very
548.
little. Really? Oh my
Yeah.
God!
Holy shit.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't that this afternoon.
What is it?
Unbelievable!
What's it
No.
on?
Unbelievable.
What's
know,
that up now, Mark?
Beg your pardon?
What would you like to do now?
Sorry, G, I missed that.
Well, you said that you didn't. You said, "Oh bloody hell!" Is your channel gone up in subs or?
Yeah, tremendously. Miss Austin just said that there before it was 548, and when I looked this
Awesome.
afternoon, it was. I'm sure it was 545.
Oh, dude, I'll happily sub to your channel, mate. Mark, can you send me a thing?
Yeah. I'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I'll happily sub to your channel, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Also, if you go
548.
to if you
I'll
go to
put my
Funky
channel in
Hungry,
too.
if you
Yeah,
go to
throw it
Funky
in.
Hungry and the
Yeah.
homepage, if you scroll down on the homepage, I've got basically everyone here, their channels up, and a
I know.
couple
It should
more.
be.
But I have to give a shout out to Roger as well for doing an epic live stream the other day. I was feeling pretty crappy, to be honest. I didn't really want to live stream, but Roger having
And
a
I
laugh
lost
with
4
Roger was-
subscribers. I was 446, then it gone down to 442 for some odd reason.
Yeah,
well, I don't know
that's
what their
Beats
problem
that's
me.
a
is.
bastard.
You did a great job, and you definitely cheered me up. We all had a good laugh, and yeah, it definitely made me go from feeling like shit
There
to,
we go.
you know,
Are you all right there?
hey.
Are
What's
you
the
all right?
half left?
I just had to say goodbye to my dog last Wednesday, so this Wednesday is
Mm,
a week since he's gone.
I remember
Oh,
that.
well, you got every right in the world to
yeah,
feel that.
And
yeah.
because he was with me all the time, and just yeah, we had a very good and close relationship, and yeah, he wasn't doing the best for a few weeks, so I kind of didn't do live streams here and there. You know, there was sometimes I wouldn't do a live stream, so this is my first live stream back since probably a couple of weeks. And yeah,
Well,
Roger.
good on you, mate. Good on you, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers. And Roger did almost 4 hours by himself because
Bloody hell.
he wanted to.
Had
He
to.
wanted to take that. He wanted to
Well,
do what we normally do here, but yeah,
Dude,
I did actually, gee.
all of us really appreciate your company. So I'm glad you came online, even though you're feeling fucking down. Thank you. Yeah, we really appreciate your company, mate.
I
I
don't.
did ask.
I wasn't like basically. I talked to Mark and Roger and stuff quite a bit outside of this, and Mrs. Austin as well, and they all knew before it happened because I mentioned that he's not doing well, so my dog, and yeah, so they kind of knew that I wasn't in the best place, and yeah, it's definitely helped me just having their support and kind words and stuff. Yeah, like one, I was just trying to keep busy, but when it came up to the week last Wednesday or this Wednesday that just went, it was quite difficult, and the Thursday Friday wasn't, which was only I guess a couple of days ago, wasn't the best. Like it was just like it's kicked me in my depression a fair bit, but keeping busy as well. It's like that's why today, like Cherinator said, did I watch his live stream? It's like today was the first day that I was kind of motivated enough. I've been, even when Soul was still around, I've kind of wanted to move my live stream area a little bit more. So today was just tidying up, moving stuff around, all that stuff. But
Hey, mate, it's all good. It's all good. Trust me, it's all good.
But yeah,
Because I
I
did
decided
actually.
I was gonna. I decided I was going to do a live stream and also catch up with all these lovely people, and just they've been really supportive. And I just wanted to, as I said, I wasn't going to mention it on my YouTube channels, but I ended up deciding like the day after to. I did mention it to Cody because he was talking to me on Discord. I mentioned it to him, and yeah, I decided to let everyone know on my different YouTube channels so they knew if I was taking a bit of a break, that's why. And yeah, Styles is saying it's the first live stream since the 8th of the 6th, 2024. So yeah, here I am back. And yeah, the best thing really for me to do is try to keep busy. But yeah, I definitely miss him. And yeah, I definitely.
So
Well,
actually, last weekend, G, are you doing a live stream tonight? And you said you didn't feel like it, and says you want me to do a live stream. Since you're not doing one, he said, "Can if you want." So I decided to do one, and did for 3 hours, 49 minutes, and 30 odd seconds. And
Well, I remember
I was
I said to
nervous on my
Roger,
own, and
oh no, you did a
my
good job,
anxiety sort
really,
of went through the
really good.
roof. If it did suffer
I
from
remember I
anxiety
said
issues,
to
and
I said to Roger, I
Anxiety.
I might not see him on the live stream, but I just popped on to have a chat, and before I know it, we was having a good old talk. So it's just how it is. Thank you, Cody. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
No
And
problem,
Yeah,
Jim.
I do have some different stuff of Soul that I'll share eventually. I shared on my Facebook, so some of these people saw it. We did some artwork the day before I said goodbye to him. So on some canvas, I did some artwork with him. Obviously, he's been on my mind non-stop, so he'll always be there. But yeah, it's I've shared videos over time. I mean, I've even got, I believe, one video on here where he was listening to opera
Oh,
music,
yeah.
and he was like reacting to it. So, yeah, but
Tell me, mate, are you going to get a dog or a cat next?
I would be a dog. I don't mind cats at all, but yeah, just there's
Cats can be cool, mate. They're expensive, but if you get a ragdoll, they're really good.
yeah. I just feel like a lot of people say they're one or the other. I don't mind pretty much most animals, but I just feel like there's a special bond between a man or shoe man and then a dog. There's just
Yeah.
something that you can't beat. There's just dogs are pack animals, and I guess we're social creatures ourselves. So like cats can come and go, but some cats can be very affectionate or social. But yeah, I feel like humans are probably closer to canines than felines, I guess.
Oh, you're right, man. You're right.
I, I do mention the cat neighbour's cat quite a lot, but
Yep.
don't tell anyone. The neighbour's cat's a prick.
I actually
Paul
think
used to hate him.
I actually think that
Oh,
dogs
people die.
find us more compatible, like as companions, and cats own it. Cats tell you
Yeah.
what you don't really have. You don't really have a like. I know people that do have like a pack cat, like they could carry it around like a baby
Yeah.
doll, and it's perfectly fine. But then the majority of cats are like, stop doing what you're doing now. Now, like they'll
Yeah.
bug you.
Like,
It's like, fine, I'll go do that. Like, not dogs are
I
like,
feel like if
you want to play? Like
I feel like if you tell off a cat, they don't really understand it or they don't really care. But if you tell off a dog, they actually a lot of dogs where they'll feel guilty before you tell them off. Like they'll give you that look, like I shouldn't have done that. Like you're going to tell me off, and you're like, yeah, it's like you did wrong. And then a cat would just like, just look at you and just walk away. Like, what the fuck your problem?
Yeah, Major
That's a lot divas.
Ryan's pup, when you tell him to stop doing something that he knows he's allowed to do, he will talk shit back to you. Like I'll tell him, "What are you doing? Knock it off," and he'll be like, "Murmur, murmur," like make murmur sound like the teacher on Charlie Brown, like at me, and I'm like, "Don't talk back to me," and then he'll put his ears down and like give me the side eye, and I'm like, "Oh, you know exactly what I'm saying." You are 100% a part of this conversation. A cat's just gonna turn its ass at you and walk away. Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, Jay,
Yeah,
can we discuss banned books and movies?
banned books and movies.
Well, I'll give you an example. Like, this Thursday I'm going to buy a book from TBD, the bookshop near me. That is the bookshop, but it's literally the only book that is shrink wrapped and rated R. I've read it before, and I want to read it again. It's American Psycho.
Yeah, right.
And anyone who's read this book would understand why it deserves to be shrink wrapped.
Yeah, but the movie ruined the book.
Oh, the movie was like a G rated.
Well, no, the
compared to the book.
movie itself was like it depicted all the important parts of the book, but like that's a trailer to a movie. Like I don't want a trailer to a book. I want to dive into the book after reading the jacket and having some understanding what the book is. But like normally either a movie is spot on. They hardly take out any part of the script, but books are I don't know.
The book was the movie was more psychological, wasn't it? Where the book was more visceral.
Well, because in a book you have
Serenader.
background music, you have scenes, you have locations. You can, in a book, you have your own brain to make that up.
Did you say American Psycho or just Psycho?
Yeah, American.
American, yeah. Has anyone else here seen or heard of that?
No, I haven't read
Alfred
the.
Hitchcock directed.
To be honest, I haven't read a lot of horror books really, besides Goosebumps.
It's not. It's not really horror. It's just an extremely violent book.
It's real life, like thriller horror is, I guess, the genre. That's why when I say that I listen to horror narration, it's not always like, like a big monster running around, like I'm gonna get you. It can be very grounded in reality.
All right, come on. What's the last good fucking movie you've watched or book? Talk about it, guys.
I'll do the opposite. One film that I watched recently that was absolutely fucking terrible was Tarot.
It was what? Tarot?
Tarot, yeah.
Oh, you went to see it. That's a new movie, isn't it?
It's a new movie, yeah. I didn't pay to see it. I've seen it at home, and god damn, it was so bad.
What's it about?
The name says it all. Tarot, but it's basically kind of like Final Destination, but with tarot cards, and their readings become reality. But it was just, I was watching it, and I'm like, these people get fucking paid for this. Like,
Jesus.
It was so hard to like watch it. I'm glad I didn't pay to see it.
I've actually read that book like 10 times, but I've actually listened to the audiobook like 20 times because I enjoy a book that I can get lost in, like watching my favorite TV show over and over. That's the extreme autistic part of me. Is like I get way too comfortable with characters. I get way too comfortable with, like, it's not like, oh, they're my friends. It's like they're a project. Like they're like an ant farm. That's how I feel about watching TV. Like they do something interesting and different every time, and just watching patterns. That book, it is like I could be listening to the audio or reading the book, and there's something going on within me, or within like a power struggle with someone else, or one of my kids, and I will read that, and it gives me a whole different perspective on why I care about the outside world, and how me caring affects me more than the people actually paying attention. So I think that book really opened my eyes to, I don't have to. Like, you can care that your coworker is doing their job, but you don't have to know everything about their life to give them excuses for not doing it. Does that make sense? Like, you don't have to intertwine yourself in all of the things that are around you, especially when it comes to people who you're just never going to win over. You're never going to, and every time you try to turn the other cheek type situation, they give you a whole nother reason to just be like, go away. It definitely gave me a calmer sense of, I only have to spend a minute part of my time. We were talking about short-lived. The world it's not going to last forever. Our lives are not going to last forever. There comes an end of, final chapter. Knowing that I don't want to hold animosity towards people that didn't help me be a better person. Trying to just, and then sit with that. Because it's sad. It's sad that there's people out there in the world that are just like, I just want to watch you fail. And I don't want to be sad, or they're sad. they are so sad they don't want other people to succeed. So instead of being like, that makes me sad. That makes me really sad that person, I just stopped doing that after listening to this book and an audiobook over and over and over again. It's like we in America have this app where if you call them, they will cheer you on. They're total strangers. But it just made me think in my mind, you can pay anyone to do anything. You could throw cash at someone, and it wouldn't. It doesn't hurt nor help. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like you can have a complete stranger in the store be like, that was rude what that person has said to you, and it could change your whole day. You'd be like, wow, I have humanity. Humanity isn't lost. And then you could see something that has nothing to do with you and just be witness to it, and it could wreck your day. So reading that book was like
What
having
book were we talking about?
red colored glasses, but living in a bubble. Does that make sense? Like you can,
Uh,
but you don't have to
I
interact.
don't even fucking know anymore.
I don't know if that makes sense. That's how I felt about this book. Like it just,
What book?
I showed everybody like 3 times.
The subtle art of not giving a fuck. I don't think Pete can see his screen properly.
No, I can see it. I can see it. I've never read it. But at the end of the day, do you really need to not? Do you need to read a book to not care about what other people think?
When you're soon to be a psychology major, yeah, kinda.
Not really. No, you don't need to fucking care about what people think on any level ever.
I can
Like,
understand what Mrs. Austin is saying. There's if you want to learn about people's behaviour, obviously there's people that have wrote books about that stuff. You can observe and work it out yourself, but it's
I
good to
think what I
see
love most
someone
about the
else's
book is that
perspective.
he uses like movie. He uses movie. Like right now, I just saw the part about boundaries, and he's laying out the story of Romeo and Juliet without saying Romeo and Juliet. Does that make sense? Like we were talking about earlier. Like, what's your best, worst movie or book or whatever you were asking? Like,
Mhm.
for me, the most memorable movies are the ones that make me not. They're not the ones that are like, what the hell did I just watch? No, you know what I mean? Like, not like how you feel about tarot. The movies that make me feel like are the movies I walk in and I'm like, why did I just spend 2 hours watching something that's like been the storyline's been played over so many times? It's just, regurgitated.
Tarot was so cringy. It was like Scary Movie, but without the funny jokes attached. Like it was just like, oh man, like it was the cringiness without having a punchline or a joke. But I found it a joke because it was just so bad. But a film I watched recently that I actually really enjoyed was The Dry. Has Eric Banner. It's an Australian film, and he's like
Dry.
a detective. He's a detective, and he has to. I actually watched the second one recently as well because they just recently brought out a second, which was all right, but I found the first one a lot more
Oh, I
engaging.
know what movie you're talking about.
Yeah, it's got Eric Banner. He's a detective, and he's hunts serial killers or just goes into obviously tries to work out a crime, tries to obviously detect and work out what happened. But yeah, it was a good Aussie film. It
Yeah.
was, it was very well done. It was interesting. The actors did a good job. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The second one wasn't quite as good I feel like the story wasn't quite as good, but it was still, I still enjoyed the second one. The first one, though, I definitely would rate and recommend.
The latest movie I've watched was one on Netflix with Jennifer Lopez in it called Atlas. That was a really good movie, actually. It's a bit of a combination of, I suppose you could say, Avatar and a couple other movies, but it's dealing with AI, and
Yeah, right.
it really was a good movie. I really enjoyed it, and Jennifer Lopez played an absolute good role in it.
Mm.
And I'd recommend it to anyone. Pete, were you talking about The Conjuring before?
No, but I find The Conjuring interesting, and I watched a documentary recently about the Warrens, and
Okay.
it's quite fascinating because the movies are not very accurate to what actually happened in real life.
Yeah, yeah. The reason why I do mention it because this lady I've seen in interviews, Dr. Diana Walsh Pasolka, is a professor of religious studies at the University of North Carolina,
Hmm.
Wilmington. She writes and teaches about the history of Catholic tradition and new religious movements, particularly as they intersect with digital technologies. Her published work on topics as varied as the Catholic doctrine of purgatory to UFOs to human potentials has received international acclaim. Now, further, and she was. She consults for movies and television productions, and she was the chief religious consultant for the movie The Conjuring, and various other programs on Netflix and so on. You can see her work. She's done interviews or podcasts on various things. An interesting lady, to say the least.
Okay.
You'll have to put her name in the chat or something, Mark. I wouldn't mind looking into her. But everyone knows who directed Conjuring, right?
Yeah, no, I'll
James
absolutely
Wan.
look into this. Thank
James
you.
James
Hmm.
James Wan, and he was the person who came up with the original Saw as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he continued the Saw franchise, which kind of went into the ground a little bit after that. But he also did Aquaman and other films. But his Conjuring, and he also was a part of Insidious, which is quite a good series of films as well. I quite enjoyed.
Well, you know what blows my mind about that case about Conjuring? The most famous one about the
Annabelle, or
I think well, Annabelle was behind a lot of things, but it was probably the most famous one. I'm sorry, guys, I don't know how to pinpoint it, but you'll know what I mean when I start talking about it. It was the guy that went around the house killing the family with a shotgun or rifle or something. No one in the fucking neighborhood heard the bullets. And apparently he was using a big caliber. Like everyone nearby should have heard that. At least
wasn't that
woke him
around the
up in the
time that
house.
wasn't that around the time TVs were invented? People probably
The,
put
it's the main
Turns it right
Conjuring
up.
movie. I don't know. I can't.
That it shows you most people are just distracted by whatever they're doing. You know.
I don't know, man. Uh, Fucking hauntings.
So what about Roger or Cody? Have you seen any films that you have enjoyed recently that you want to talk about?
Recently, but back to the old movies like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, I tend to enjoy a bit.
Oh,
Back
I
in the
loved
day, and that,
Nightmare on Elm Street. I've actually got.
and also, uh,
Yeah, go on,
and
Roger.
also American Pie movies, I tend to enjoy as well. Like
Yeah.
American Pie, the comedy
Or
movies that
Oh,
is.
nice.
it's a little bit
What's that?
dusty, but this is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
It
sick.
looks like a pizza box, but it actually has all the DVDs in it.
Yeah. Got
Oh,
all the
hell yeah.
movies in that one, hey?
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
love
have to
these.
have Ryan
Oh,
see
wow.
Four,
of him dressed up
five,
as.
Wow.
6, 7,
Oh,
8
yeah.
movies.
Oh, yep.
How about
Yep.
Freddy
I love
versus
how the
Jason
marks
one?
are the
You got
numbers.
that one?
It reminds me of Saw.
Oh,
How Saw
I
used
don't
to
have it
have
here.
different scratch marks.
Freddy vs. Jason's okay. I do love Robert Englund,
Yeah, he's good.
but as
And
I
Kane,
don't mind.
what's his name for
I don't mind.
Jason?
I don't mind Friday films, but I feel like the Schumann, the victims are very like cheesy and cringy in Friday, whereas in
Oh, yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, like Nancy and stuff, they were actually had some depth to them, and they were quite interested and well acted. Where in
And
Friday, they're
put
all
some
like,
humor in it
"Oh,
too.
I'm scared, and I'm so dumb, and I don't know what to do." It's
Question:
like quite.
Would you could I'm trying to word this. I believe that the character of in I believe that because Jason didn't communicate back, the actors had a hard time conveying
I
that
just remember that.
whole fear and that everything. With like the fact that Robert Englund was just fucking creepy, you would just instantly like
Yeah, that is a good point.
involuntarily respond to him because he did it on purpose. Like he was just because off screen he was just so sweet and so nice, like everybody's favorite grandpa, favorite uncle. Like he was just sweet. and he wanted
It's
to.
like trying to
He,
It's like
he
trying to
wanted
interact
to.
with like CGI if there's not really a physical. I know sometimes they have, like
Yeah.
people in the place, but yeah, it definitely would be hard
I
to
think that
bounce
it was
off.
the interaction that they had with each other because
But also,
they kept Michael Myers away from everyone. They wanted it to be that creepy, eerie, you don't know what's coming. Like he wouldn't really speak around anyone, like because he was in character, But like
well, Halloween. I feel like Halloween again. It was kind of a mix between Nightmare and Friday because
mhm,
you had Michael who didn't really talk and all that stuff like Jason, but
mhm.
then the background characters like were decent in Halloween like they were in Nightmare. Where I've watched the new Halloweens. I know a lot of people didn't like different aspects of them, but I quite enjoyed them. They did a new trilogy recently with Jamie Lee Curtis back, and they were pretty good. I quite
Oh,
enjoyed
Jay,
them. Yeah.
you know that have you seen 28 Days Later?
Yeah, I have.
There's another one coming out soon called 28 Years Later.
Yeah, 28 days later is when he saw his family get butchered at the beginning, right? And he jumps out the window and runs off.
Ah, that's the sequel.
Wow.
That's the sequel.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's
the
the sequel. Oh, yeah. I just remember it was the dude from Full Monty that did that. I forget
yeah,
his
yeah.
actual real name, but the dude from Full Monty, he I
He,
mean,
he's
did
become a
you,
pretty big
uh,
actor
you
now. I mean, he was the main guy in Peaky Blinders, and
yeah,
he was in Oppenheimer. He's the actor. So like, it's kind
What
of
was
cool
it?
to see him doing a horror movie. But anyway, it's coming back.
what about you, Cody? You're up on the chopping block.
Oh
You
no.
seen any film lately that I know you watched bloody Shaun of the Dead the other day. I guess we could give
Yeah, that
that an
was
honourable mention.
last Friday. It was just my sister and her partner. So just ordered Macca's and just watched that last Friday. Yeah, really enjoyed it.
Can't go wrong with that. I
Oh
bloody
no,
love Shaun of the Dead. It's one of those films that even though I've
Yeah.
watched it so many times, I still will watch it and get the same sort of reaction and laugh to the same jokes
I
like I
still
watched it
yell
the
at the
first
same
time.
spot. I still yell at the same spots from the first time I watched it in the movie
Yeah.
theater. I still, to this day, is like, run, you fat bastard! Run!
Draws the
Screaming.
same reaction every time.
Well, let's all go to the Winchester and wait for everything to blow over.
My
How's that for a slice of fried gold?
my
You got your
my
Big Snacks?
most recent
Yeah.
watched video would be I watched it actually waiting for the live to start earlier. I was like, I'll watch a
That's
movie.
28 weeks later.
Um, it was Mortal Engines, and I'm a total like secret steampunk. I love I love I love the costumes, like the Victorian style clothing, but then like, you know, industrial, machine mixed into it. And it was 100% that. 100% that. I loved it. And very much like do you guys remember the cartoon, the one where the guy is floating the boat? I can't remember what it's called. It's one of Brian's like favorite movies when he was growing up. That's funny, JK.
Well, we've been wanting to do it for a while, but all sorts of stuff has happened since. But we still need to do the watching Spaceballs as a
Oh
group.
yeah, yep,
And
yep.
now they've confirmed that the second's coming out. It's even
Oh
more
wow.
needs to like
Was that
happen.
Mel Brooks' birthday
Yeah,
yesterday? Have you
Yes.
seen
recently.
that, Mark? Yeah.
Yeah, he just had a birthday recently. He's like 98 or something like that.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Hey, we've hit the 3 hour mark, so let's shut it all down and we'll go over to TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't been on TikTok in a while. Stylesy's happy about that. Director Stylesy's
Yeah.
apparently given us the okay.
When did they announce Spaceballs 2?
You haven't heard about it.
No.
No.
I thought you shared it as well.
Oh, gee, I might have.
New TV we watched is the new season of Shorzy, and I'm a big ball bag, so I cried at some of the parts because there's changes, but there is a guaranteed another season. So I just love it. I love hockey, and I love like the banter and the bullshit, but everybody's best friends afterwards. Like I love that camaraderie, like the competitiveness, but yet we're all out here beating the crap out of each other. We're all taking licks. The winner is the winner.
The irony of that is Spaceballs 2 to search for more money. Mel Brooks might need some more money now. Like he is pretty old these days. He might need a few more. But it was this one is 13th of June, so not that long ago, and it says a Spaceball sequel is in development at Amazon. Josh Gade is set to star and will produce alongside Mel Brooks.
That's what I'm saying. I want to know how they're going to.
Brooks is getting that there, Mel Brooks.
Because a lot of the characters wouldn't be around anymore. They definitely did leave it a little bit too long, but
yeah, they did.
98.
John Candy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Let's look at Mel Brooks' age. He's turned 98 yesterday. Mel Brooks.
Oh damn.
98.
Fucking me dead.
Born in Brooklyn, New York.
Wow.
Born 28th of June, 1926.
Holy shit.
Holy cow. Holy. Because I know
Holy
directed
moly.
Robin Hood Men in Tights. The
yeah.
Blazing Saddles and quite a few other heaps and heaps of other movies too.
I still
He's
know
a good director in that.
I still know all the singing parts to Robin Hood Men in Tights.
So do I.
I'm just stuck in your head for the rest of your life.
And I now I'm in deep shit.
It was such a good film.
That's what we should do.
Yeah,
we
made
should,
in 93.
we
I
should
was
take
13.
we should take movie titles and all of us tell our favorite version of said movie. Like, like your favorite Batman, your favorite Superman, your favorite Robin Hood. Yeah.
I did actually like Disney's Robin Hood. That was.
That's an interesting one. What's your favorite Batman?
My favorite Batman?
Yes.
I'm gonna be a total dick and say the new one with Will Arnett as the voice of the Lego Batman, only because he's hilarious. So I like comedy.
Yeah, a lot of people do
I
like Lego Batman. I've watched some of it with my nephew, but not sat there from start to finish.
I really watched it.
The truth, I liked the TV show. That one was my favorite.
Probably would have to be Dark Knight, but I did like Batman vs Superman. I know that's controversial. A lot of people didn't like it, but
I'm right with you, man. Batman vs Superman. That version of Batman was fucking amazing.
Yeah, they definitely gave the impression that he could take down Superman, which was what you needed.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale, I did like Batman Begins, but I have to say Dark Knight just because Joker was in it as well.
Yeah. I think that could be the argument in every one of those, is that the co-stars kind of change where they sit. If you just had to do it off the Batman, I like the one where Danny DeVito is the Penguin.
To be honest, I'd probably have to say the best Batman film is Batman Begins because it shows his origins very well. But my favorite film, Dark Knight, is probably just because of Joker, really. So I can't really say it's my favorite Batman film. It's probably because of Heath Ledger as Joker was just insane, just so good. It's just so.
What do you think of What do you think of the new Batman movie, Robert Pattinson?
I actually liked it quite a lot. I liked Riddler in that. I feel like they showed Riddler well and Batman's detective side very well.
That'd be like saying, what's your favorite Sherlock Holmes video or movie or depiction?
But also when it comes to Batman, you can tell the different source material they've used. Like the new Batman with Robert Pattinson is obviously going into the more detective side, which is what DC is, detective comics. It's going in where Batman vs Superman is more superhero film, where it's going
Yeah.
into just beat the fuck out of each other, who's the strongest. So it depends on what source material you're going by.
Very
And
true.
like Christian Bale, Batman is a very techie. It's showing like the technical gadget side of Batman. So like different source material is definitely taken for just like the new joke, like the Joker film. That's showing the comedy side, where Heath Ledger's Joker was a very different Joker. But they've all taken from obviously different source material, really. Because
The
at the
comic.
end of the day, there's a
Each
shitload of comics out
different
there.
comic. Yeah, it's I just like I don't know. Ryan Reynolds takes Deadpool and brings him to life.
Oh,
That's all I gotta say about it. But
watching
there's
the
no
trailer of
other
Deadpool now.
Deadpool to kind of judge him on but the comic book. So if there were like 15 different Deadpools, then maybe I could pick someone other than Ryan Reynolds. Because what if it was more of the darker, more, you know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
like Deadpool, the origin Deadpool's was very more brutal, like more bounty hunter, where they didn't have the humor as much. He was more like Deathstroke from DC Comics. But also, the only thing with Deadpool films that I feel was missing, but it'd probably be hard to do, is he has all these voices in his head where he
Yes.
argues with himself, and he has like a very logical side, and then like a side where it's just like joking, and then you have the complete brain dead one that just says like boobies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all arguing on the comic page, and then like normally the one comes out with the most stupid shit randomly.
And the only way they put that in the film was when they were showing the different steps of him becoming the Deadpool at the end. It doesn't really show. It's like with the first time, this is how I talked. The second time, this is how I talked. So, you know what I mean? The shit talking to Francis, that he's doing during this. Like that's when you're kind of seeing the image of his, the way he's communicating. So yeah, no, I know that was. I only have I could only get my hands on 4 copies of Deadpool because I wasn't allowed. I wasn't even supposed to be reading it. I was 12. But the one that I liked the most was the one where he would. I swear it was 3 pages of him just talking shit to himself, and it was hilarious because I was like, I can relate to that. I can relate to how many times I've been like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing?"
Ryan Reynolds is Canadian as well, right? And Deadpool's a Canadian character, which was nice little, not just always having Americans, no offense, playing everything.
No, again, my favorite Sherlock Holmes is Cumberbatch. So I don't side with just the American version.
I do actually quite like Robert Downey as Sherlock, though. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, but he was drugged out then, so it was a good one. I like him as Iron Man as a sober man. Just saying.
Oh yeah, he
did an excellent job as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, both
Chris Evans as Captain America was really good as well. He did a great job of that character.
Say hi.
Oh, look at that.
No.
This is Bach. He's not gonna get close enough. No, I have to pet your
He's
brother.
beautiful.
I have to pet your brother too.
Friendly dog.
You're not gonna let me?
No.
They're Rhodesian Ridgeback and Australian Shepherd mix, but they look completely different. Go, move.
The dogs have taken over the stream a couple of times tonight.
Go, Major. Major's real name is Major Pain in My Ass.
Major Pain.
Buck is Buck. Because when you're screaming at 6:30 off the front porch, it does not sound like Buck. Come here. Come here. Buck.
That's brilliant.
Major say. Remember. This one's mine. This one's mine. He's little and he's all brown.
No.
And then Major's like a big goofy looking pup. And he's about to jump
in. He's a lot more calmer.
Oh yeah.
A lot more chill. Coming back. What's all this? I want to be involved in this as well. Don't forget me.
You better quit
That's
telling him to lay
brilliant.
down. He already tried to jump into bed with Ryan twice when Ryan was going to bed. They're gonna come bug me again. Yeah, they're not leaving. Oh, nothing like having they're like cats. I don't want to pet them and they take my arm. Oh, what'd you do? What'd you do?
I love it when they're that excited that they just stand there smirking. See him just happy,
This one, he's not
smiling,
willing to lick
smirking. Just
so
I don't know why we're all excited, but I'm loving life. We're all happy for some reason. I don't know why, but just smiling and
No.
No.
They're trying to end the live. Go. I got everybody all. Oh. They're my bougie. They're spoiled, rotten bougie dogs. They
nothing wrong with that.
They definitely. The only thing we don't let them do is sleep in bed anymore because they would kick us out of it. They seriously will get in the middle of us and just push us both out of bed. When they were about 2 years old, we were like, no more, you can't. So, like Mark was saying, if I were to lay on the ground right now, they'd lick the crap out of me. So, lay down.
Yeah.
Down. And they think that they have like a hive mind. If you tell one of them to do something, the other one has to do too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, he's doing it, and maybe I'll get a reward out of this as well.
Yeah.
Tell them to lay down, so they'll, they're like sheepdogs. They'll walk in a circle and sit down. Australian Shepherd. But the Ridgeback, they have barks that just sound like they're gonna eat your face off. This one's the one who talks, by the way. He's pouting right now because I don't want him to lick me.
Oh, I think someone's upset. It looks like I've been unsubbed from all of my channels by someone.
Oh no!
Oh, what?
Must be me talking about naked aliens.
Oh no!
Maybe.
How
I
dare
lost
they?
4 subscribers in a one live stream, myself. So,
Yeah.
is that too unusual?
When you think about it, that like you're saying, Roger, that actually takes a little bit of effort to actually unsubscribe.
Especially doing it on Funkin' Hungry, Hypersapien TV, and G the Hypersapien. They've taken a little bit of that's dedication.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. Idiots.
And do you know who it is, or it's just a guess?
I probably would love it.
I wouldn't know. Even you paid me $1 million, Mark. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, maybe it was when we were talking about Sherlock Holmes. Maybe we need him to solve the case.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a part of just being on YouTube. People will come across you, they'll subscribe to you, they'll like, oh yeah, and after a while, they'll just lose interest, or you might say something that they don't agree with,
Bugger them.
whatever the situation is, and then they'll move on to something else,
Must have been because I didn't act like a plonker as much tonight. I called it Return of the Plonker, and here I was having a serious conversation like that. And then when I named the live stream something serious, like people expecting, and then we just act like a bunch of bats, and then it never like goes together properly, but it does, but it doesn't, and that's what it's all about. It's peaked onto Slate.
Probably.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
Or
we might have lost, Pete.
like someone could have lost their account. Been a troll, lost their account because they spam too much or whatever, and they just happen to be following you, and that'd be the reason why they fell off the way that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt it's some sort of lurker troll or whatever, so that's all good. I don't know if in the background and in case you start snoring or something.
Yeah, But like you
like
say,
to-
G, if it's across 3 different channels, then that's got to be, that's just not coincidence. That's,
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that it's someone who doesn't need to be here, that doesn't need to hear something that we've all talked about. I'm gonna try to be on the look for the silver lining, happy side of things. Like, just hope that it's not someone who needs to hear or needs to know that they're not alone, or they're everyone. We all know the struggle's real.
We always make people, well, at least, well, I feel like I could freely say we make people feel welcome. We cover various topics. We even repeat stories like we did tonight because some people haven't heard them, and it's just make people cater to other people, make them feel welcome, share our experiences, and talk about Batman for 10-20 minutes. And are we ready to wrap this present up?
yeah, yeah.
And
Put a bow on it.
are we? Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Cody. Put a nice big bow on it after.
Yeah.
Put a to and from sticker on it. All right, well, I'll start off this little rowboat, and I want to appreciate Mark, Roger, Mrs. Austin, Cody, and a little guest appearance from Pete. And you're way too kind, Mrs. Austin, for giving me that dono. You shouldn't have. Much love to you. And for everyone that's a member of Funkin' Hungry, I went through it before, but shout out to everyone that wants to be a part of that. Maybe it was Pete that understood. That's actually true. He's like, that would be a really good plot twist. He's like, oh, fuck, these guys are annoying now. And stuff. Got the information he wanted out of us.
They're
But yeah,
ignoring me.
appreciate everyone in the chat tonight. And yeah, as I said, big shout out to all the lovely people up here on panel with me. Everyone that joined in the chat. It felt good to come back, felt good to talk to everyone, and appreciate everyone for showing the support. And this is Hypersapien TV. If you go into Hypersapien TV, go to home, scroll down. I have all these people's channels on my homepage, so please go and sub to all of them. We could list them all, but there is, a good probably 10 of us now, different channels. So yeah, if you can go check out Mark from Mark Shed Talk, Roger the Pirate, and Robo5 Live, Cody the Aussie Alistair Fan Brony, I just rant already, and you can go check out Ryan's channel as well, Elk Creek Farms, PH Farms, Pharmaceuticals. Please go check them all out. They're all lovely people and support me and what I do here.
There he is.
Oh, speak of the devil.
It's a rare sighting. A rare sighting. A rare sighting. I waited until he started moving around to get online. That's why I was like, he's stretching. I'm getting on. So
was that Bigfoot? Bigfoot sighting. We've talked about cryptids before, and
Bigfoot. That's Roger.
if you didn't blink, there he is.
I'm
the man.
I'm awake and I'm alive this morning because
he must have heard his name being called.
It's his first day off in like 10 days. So yeah.
Oh wow.
We didn't give him a shout out. We didn't forget him. So
no, yeah, you got the shout out.
It's almost
you
30
made an appearance
that I've been working today.
No, because
that was
shopping isn't day off.
That was a bit of a Quincy dink.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough from me. I love you and leave you, and over to these fine ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies
first. Come on, Miss Austin.
Hold on, say it again.
Thank you for the shout out, guys. I appreciate it.
He said thank you for the shout out. He's got to pee. He's running to the bathroom. Like, don't say it louder.
He's a part of the crew, part of the family, part of the community. He does a great job for what he does as well.
Yes.
Well, I'd just like to say thank you very much for having me on here. G, it's great to see you back, mate, after you've gone through a difficult time. To the rest of you guys, thank you very much for your help and support, as I've mentioned before. And we'll just keep doing this from time to time. And check out, please come and have a look at what I'm doing. Completely different to what you see tonight. It's got to do with the stuff behind me. Go check out everyone else, see what they're up to. Different perspective on life, different ideas, different interests. So over to you, Roger.
Make sure you subscribe to Mrs. Austin and her husband, Phil. Forgot what Ryan's channel's name called.
Elk Creek
Yeah, Ryan's
Farms.
channel as well. Also,
Farms.
yeah, farms. As I said, yeah, and also the mighty Cody, Mark Fedcork, also G in his channels, and my little half brother Robert Firefly's channel as well. Oh, some other list taller than me.
And also go check out Roger the Pirate. He's a lovely bloke and does some great content and does
Oh, yeah.
actual live streams. Don't forget to go check him out. He's basically the glue to our dysfunctional TVs here. He keeps us going. Wouldn't be the same without Roger. And now you're up on the chopping block again, there, Cody.
Oh,
Let
no.
everyone know let everyone know where to find you and when you go live. Monday, right?
Well, we'll actually be going live tomorrow night, not on this channel that I'm on, but on Cody the Aussie Brave. Is on the 1st of July every year in the NT is Territory Day, so you light fireworks from between 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. 1st of July every year in the NT. So I'll go live on tomorrow night instead of Monday, then back to normal the following week.
Sounds awesome.
Great. So
Sounds like a good time.
we'll see you in the NT.
That's
Yep.
it. All right. Cheers, Stylesy. And we'll catch up with you next time.
Yeah.
Go check out Cody's channel tomorrow.
Yep.
All right. Take care, everyone. We shall see you soon.
Good night, Australia.
Bye.